Please let me know when you are here if the sound is good. I'm going to do a little intro. If you have ever wanted to be a fly on the wall and observe what is actually going on in the lives of celebrities or true crime or spiritual and metaphysical concepts, you have come to the right place because that is what we explore here on this channel. Utilizing my energy reading, my psychic gifts and abilities, and my specialty is peeling back the 3D veil and exploring the world as it actually and genuinely truly is. Hello, Jamie. You get a prize for being the first one here. Please let me know if the sound is good. Hey, Steve. Hello, Sarah. So glad to see so many of you guys hopping on right now. We have so much information to get through. I hope that we're going to get through it all in time. I had no patience whatsoever to put any makeup on. So all I did was hey Beth, I literally slathered some lip color on and I called it a day. It might not even be applied very evenly. I have no fucks to give. Thank you. Okay, the sound is perfect. Hello, Chiquita, my darling. I am so excited to be here with you guys. We're going to get going in just one moment with the information. There we go. Okay, if ever the sound is not sounding good, guys, please let me know, okay? Now, we have an enormous amount of information that I want to get through to today. A lot, like a lot. A lot of notes, a lot of goodies that I want to explore. Oh, thank you, Jamie. I appreciate the compliment. And I have an insane amount of incredible content that's going to be coming out shortly as well. I have been channeling like a crazy woman, and I'm really excited to share everything with you guys. I'm just going to pull over my step stool over here, and then we'll dive in. Oh, crap. I can see it, and I have a microphone in the way now. Hello, Sarah, my darling. Yeah, it's been forever. Oh my God. So this is basically, hello, Lola. So basically, Sarah, this is an early night for you. Let me get my footstool and bring it over, and then we're going to dive on in. Hold on a second, everyone. Okay, it's real life over here, as I always like to remind you guys. And I like to tease and say I'm like the least professional YouTuber ever. Like, I don't even have my shit together. Like, I knew I was going to get my footstool. Did I bring it over in advance? No. Okay. Hello, Ramina. Oh, my goodness. You're so kind for saying that. Whoopsies. So kind for saying that. Thank you so much. It's incredibly hot over here in LA as well. I'm wearing a skirt, which means I'm probably not going to sit on my desk because I'm going to have to be extremely careful to conceal London and France under my underpants. So let's see if I can get through this without sitting on my desk. Here we go. So as I like to remind you guys, these are all questions that hello from London, that you guys have all asked me to look into in the past. And since when I channel, I tend to channel a lot, it would be nearly impossible to do an AMA unless I'm taking questions on the spot. It would be nearly impossible to remember all of the various different topics and what had come in. Oh my goodness, welcome from Dubai. So that's why I first and foremost use a notebook. There is far too much information that I can possibly recall. I mean, if you've been here for a while, you know my name recollection is like next to nothing at this point. So I got to use the notebook. Now, the first, and by the way, replay crew, I will have timestamps done a little bit later on today. Jamie, so jelly of your... Well, you know, I had microblading done. My eyebrows didn't look like this before. Go back to my old videos. It's like, does she have eyebrows? We couldn't really be sure. Hello from South Africa. My goodness, I'm loving this. I have people from all over the world tuning in. This is quite remarkable. Okay, so here we go. The first topic I was asked to look into is somebody by the name of Joe Rogan. Now, he is an American podcaster, a UFC commentator, a comedian, and a TV host. I think he's also like a former martial artist. Thank you, John. That's very kind of you to say. He has an estimated net worth of $200 million. Now, let's see what Joe Rogan's energy wanted to share with me. Yes, fire right out of the gate. So, Joe Rogan woke up one day, but not like literally, he woke up in the morning. No. Like he woke up. Like he got to see the world as it is and not through the illusion of it, in fact, actually being a matrix. So he literally just woke up one day. Yes, he woke up in the morning, but he also woke up. And it was like almost literally from one day to the next. He went to sleep. He woke up the next morning, and with waking up the next morning, he just started to see things differently. He does not know how it happened. He does not think much about the how or why because he's enjoying the newfound awareness that he is experiencing. It's liberating, it's expansive, and it has brought something new to his life, as in new vision. As in, he feels he can see more clearly now. And it is not, in fact, performative. It is not for show, nor is it for views, because he already has plenty. It's like the fog was lifted and he can see. So Joe Rogan waking up. Hi, Jamara, love. Joe Rogan waking up. I lost my place. So here we go. Joe Rogan waking up is a really good example of how somebody could write into the script of their life waking up and how it can feel like it just happens and literally overnight. He also did not resist it because I'm going to remind you guys that free will always reigns supreme. So somebody with their free will can override what they have arranged for themselves prior to being born. But he was open-minded and he did not, in fact, resist waking up. But as much as he has been influential and him waking up has broadened his horizons, believe it or not, he is not going to be the most influential podcaster going forward. He was the first, and he paved the way for the rest of us that have come after him, but the real truth seekers will go for the truly fringe content creators and the truly fringe podcasters, recognizing the truly fringe as the truth and the suppressed truth. And for those truth seekers, for them, Joe is simply not out there enough. So that is what I have for you on Joe Rogan. Any questions, please do let me know. Hello, let's get random. And hello, Kaiser Soze. I love that. Steve said my ear just started ringing. You know what that means. Now, the next topic I was asked to look into is a former Brazilian model by the name of Alessandra Ambrosia. Now, she is best known for being a former Victoria's Secret angel, and she has an estimated net worth of $80 million. Hello, unknown. Let's see what Alessandra's energy wanted to share with me. She was underwhelming. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. If you are part of the replay crew, feel free to skip this segment. Her energy, 2% personal opinion as the energy reader, her energy underwhelmed me. Alessandra is pretty, and she's also pretty bland, at least energetically. There is nothing quite so extraordinary about her. She is of perfectly average intelligence. She does have a creative mind, but her looks actually serve as a deterrent from her pursuing creative endeavors because she has a nice enough life, so why do anything more than she has to, especially if there's not going to be any long-lasting payoff to it. However, what she does not realize is that not everything needs to be done because it has a beneficial end result to it. And that doing something is actually all that matters because when we do it, we grow from it. And we do not then stay stuck where we currently are. She has the opposite mindset of somebody that I have looked into for a past AMA, which is Dolph Lundgren. Now, you may remember when I had looked into him, it was shown to me that he has the mindset of a monk and that he actually pursued challenges to help his mind grow because he, as a martial artist, concluded what good is an active body without having an equally active mind. However, Alessandra feels that she has a career because of her body, so yeah, that's good enough for her. So why put herself out there in any capacity beyond it? So this is somebody that does not have a growth mindset, not even a little bit. Now, she also shared with me that she kind of fell into modeling. And she was tall, she was pretty enough naturally that there was what could be worked with to make her stand out. So again, that was that. She's kind of what you see is what you get. And I have no, personally, as just a person, I have no horse in this race. I'm not invested in portraying her one way or another way. I was certainly aware of her being a Victoria's Secret model, but beyond that, never really thought one way or another about her. Because, I'm a person, I sometimes can have a bias. I didn't go into reading her energy feeling biased at all, one way or another about her. So it's truly me just sharing the energy of her. So I truly do find her energy to be basic. And in a world of very potentially interesting topics, hers is not an energy that I wish to stay in any longer, so I didn't. So that concludes Alessandra Ambrosia. Any questions, please do let me know down below. I'm just going to catch up on some comments here. Hello, good afternoon, Warren Mills. The first, the last asked, who is she? I don't know if you're asking who I am or who I was just talking about. I was talking about the former Brazilian model by the name of Alessandra Ambrosia. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Hello from Kenya. The first, the last said, no questions. You're welcome. Let me catch up on comments here, which Yoda, please. Don't be so narrow-minded. Just because a girl has short hair does not mean that I identify as anything other than a woman. Thank you, Nebula Hendricks, who said your eyes are enchanting and you're digging the blonde 80s look. Godspeed. Godspeed right back at you. And Steve said, imagine the world if Faye has as many listeners as I can't wait for that day to happen, Steve. Because it's going to happen. We're all manifesting it. So I know that it's actually going to happen one way or another. Okay. I think that's all the questions. And hello hi, Maher from Sweden. Okay. Hello, the Surviving Men series. All right, now moving on. This next one is incredibly short. Sorry, I have no control over the length or degree of information that comes in. I just want to remind you guys of that. I was asked to look into a former actor by the name of Mr. T. His real name is Lawrence, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Turode. He has an estimated net worth of only $1 million. This is a very short segment. Mr. T shared with me that he had a good life. He got to play a memorable character. He had fun doing it, and that is that. So a very short and probably unsatisfactory segment. There you have it. Any questions, please do let me know. Hold on. Somebody's saying hello, Candace. Somebody is saying a lot here. Love God. Blessings to everyone from Arkansas. Please hear me out right now. Me and my daughter need help. We will pray for you. We cannot send you any money. I am sorry, but we can definitely send prayers your way. Okay. The next topic I was asked to look into is a megalithic ancient structure located in England. It is a historical landmark, and it is known as Stonehenge. So these are a bunch of rocks that basically make up some sort of a formation, and people have been wondering for a hella long time, what was it actually in fact used for? So here we go. Probably will come as no surprise to anyone that has been here for quite some time. Stonehenge was used as a sacred, sacrificial ground, and at certain times of the year, a portal could be opened there. Now, this sacred sacrificial ground was mostly inhabited or used by women. So think of a witch's coven. All of these women were getting together, all wearing white, gauzy gowns and painting on each other's faces with their menstrual cycle. Because, also if you've been here for a while, you know, blood of any kind is really a part of every ritual or blood, sex, magic ritual, and this was certainly no different. The women would dance in a circle on the inside of Stonehenge, and at a certain time, astrologically, a grand priestess, sorry, this next part is gnarly, a grand priestess, I'm going to pantomime what was done because I don't want to say it, but the grand priestess would do that to a baby and use the blood from that baby to paint on each of the stones to activate a portal. Now, it was always the grand priestess who, after activating the portal, would walk through and she would leave all the others behind. However, one such time, all of the other women in this coven that were left behind grew tired of being left behind, so they all walked through the activated portal together, leaving no one behind to know nor tell anything about it. So that is what I have for you on Stonehenge. Any questions, please do let me know. Thank you for the compliment on the background. Yeah, whoa baby, Steve is kind of correct here. Now, this next topic I was asked to look into is an American singer, songwriter, and actress by the name of Ashlee Simpson. Ashlee Simpson is the little sister of Jessica Simpson, and she has an estimated net worth of $11 million. Now, if you're part of the replay crew, I am just going to let you guys know that I will link the previous AMA segment in which I had looked into Jessica Simpson down below so you can also see what Jessica Simpson had said, because it will in fact lend some additional context and information to what Ashlee had decided to share with me. So here we go. Ashlee Simpson. Ashlee Simpson both loved and hated being in big sister Jessica's shadow. She loved it because the more Jessica eclipsed her, the more she would be invisible to her father. But she also hated it because being invisible to her father also meant being invisible as a whole. Her father was magnetic. Now, I don't think her father has passed away, so she's not saying past tense when he was alive he was magnetic. It's just saying that at that time, this is her reference point. At that time, he was magnetic. Not that as in he used to be because he's no longer alive. But at that time, he was magnetic, brilliant, and bright. And when he turned his attention on you, it meant it was because he had plans for you. Big plans. So catching his eye meant you were going places. And didn't you want to go places? Of course you did. But also, at what cost? Because there was always a cost. And the question is, did you in fact want to pay it? This is where the context on what Jessica Simpson had shared will be applicable. And it turns out for Ashley Simpson, she didn't want to pay that cost so much. So once Jessica was established, her father turned his attention on her because to Joe Simpson, her father, everyone in his life was a commodity. Nothing more, nothing less. But after seeing what her father had done to Jess, Ashley had serious concerns about her life and her future. So she made some subtle mistakes and errors in the hope that her future would not be quite as viable to her father as Jessica's was. Most notably, she had messed up on Saturday Night Live. She had gotten pregnant, so she could not be used as a pawn, and she had also pushed for very obvious plastic surgery. What did I write there? And pushed for obvious plastic surgery, so there could be no doubt she had it done. Then she denied it, which was of course laughable because anyone with eyes could see she had very notable plastic surgery that was done. However, despite her making subtle mistakes in her personal and professional life, it did not entirely stop her father. And in fact, it had made him even more intolerable, and this really scared Ashley. So she had married Pete. Now, the Pete that she is speaking of is, I think his last name is Wentz, and I think he is a musician in a band. So she had gotten pregnant with Pete Wentz, I don't know when, maybe 2008, 2009, 2010. They had gotten married, were not married very long, then they had gotten divorced. But she's referencing the fact that she had married Pete because she had concluded it was better to be out of the house with Pete than to face the wrath of her father. So from her point of view, marrying Pete Wentz was a Hail Mary because no, she didn't really think that her and Pete would last forever, but whatever. She was young and she didn't really think anyone would care if they got divorced, and she was right. Hollywood is progressive and no one cared. Except that is her father. But by then, he had other people to manage and other projects, and she was mostly left alone. Now, she shared with me she didn't always make the best or the right decisions, but it's all worked out okay in the end. So that is what I have for you on Ashley Simpson. Any questions, please do let me know. Thank you, Kaiser Soze, for your compliment on my aura. I appreciate it so. I'm skipping some pages here. This was channeled information for a previous members video on L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology. Wild and very insightful. If you are not yet a member, you might want to consider joining, even if it's just to binge watch and then cancel. And since this is my channel, I can shamelessly plug my membership if I want to. So I did. and I'm still skipping pages. Just so you know, this was a very extensive and long video. Oh, here, more pages that I'm going to skip on a previous video that I had done on the Appalachian Mountains. Definitely one of my favorites. If you have not yet seen it, recommend going back and watching it. Here we go. The next, Kaiser Soze said, I see where this is going. The cost of fame is selling one's soul. You got it. Now, the next topic I was asked to look into is an American fashion designer by the name of Tommy Hillfiger. He has an estimated net worth of $450 million. Let's see what his energy wanted to share with me. I laugh because I just reviewed my notes before I came on here, so I know what's coming. Tommy Hillfiger doesn't have time, not just for me, but for everyone, for everything. It's not that there's not enough time in the day and he always feels rushed. No. But it is, in fact, because he feels separate from everyone and everything, and it's all, in fact, so bothersome. Cry me a river. We cannot imagine how many seamstresses he went through until he could find ones that were competent and could bring his visions to life. Or how many times he had to walk past the doorman in his building without responding to the doorman that was just being polite. Before the doorman finally got it and realized he was never going to respond to him. So he stopped speaking to him altogether. Because that's just how Tommy Hillfiger rolls. Everything and everyone is just so exhausting, and all he wants is to be left alone to create. Do people, he asks rhetorically, not understand how a creative genius operates? So yeah, I found him to be exhausting, and I actually left his energy at this point. That's what I have for you on Tommy Hillfiger. Any questions, please do let me know. Now, the next person whose energy I was asked to look into is a model, a socialite, a fashion designer, and an heiress. Welcome to the membership, Kaiser Soze. You have made yourself a very wise decision by joining. And members that are here, you can let Kaiser Soze know what a fantastic membership it in fact is. So anyway, let's get back to the multi-hyphenate that Nicki Hilton is. Because she is a former model. Hi, Samaya, darling. She is a socialite. She is a fashion designer, and she is an heiress. She herself has an estimated net worth of $100 million. And if you're like, oh my, poor little rich girl is only worth $100 million, guys, don't you worry yourself, not even for one moment. Because Nicki Hilton is married to a Rothschild. And she, in conjunction with her husband, has an estimated net worth of $1 trillion. So no rivers to cry for Nicki Hilton. This is what her energy wanted to share with me. Nicki Hilton is the slightly more down-to-earth version of Gwyneth Paltrow, but like just barely. Because if you all remember when I had done the video on Gwyneth Paltrow, she's like so far gone, she's like out to lunch, like in another dimension. So Nicki Hilton is the slightly more down-to-earth version of Gwyneth Paltrow, but like just barely. She has never wondered where her next meal was coming from or if her credit or bank card would work. She has never not had new clothes to wear, never wondered if she would be discriminated against at a job interview, never wondered about the world her children will inherit. She also never worried nor thought, in fact, who she would vote for, because she is an elite and thus then therefore above the petty lives that are in fact actually affected by the policies of the politicians. She is not just not one of us, but she also knows it. But whereas Gwyneth Paltrow does not imagine nor care how the 99%ers live, Nicki is at least very cognizant of her privilege, and she knows that regular people do not live like her. So she would not really flaunt her elite status nor her success, and she shared with me that she has in fact on occasion admonished Sister Paris, Hilton, for being so overt. She might have even used the word piggish to describe Sister Paris's antics, which actually goes to show how socially aware Nicki Hilton is. But just because she gets it doesn't mean she really gets it. Because she's not one of us. She has never not known luxury. She is just more conservative about her approach to it. She also does not take it for granted, and again, she recognizes her privilege and her elite status and is grateful for it. She is definitely the more level-headed of the two Hilton sisters. She is mostly content and happy and does not mix much with the business affairs of her husband's family, but she did share with me that she likes them fine. And they like her fine too. And that's all she had to say about that. So that is what I have for you on Nicki Hilton. Any questions, please do let me know down below. Thank you, Mod Army. Hello, Shivani. Yeah, that's right. You didn't see Nicki doing the simple life. Let's skip some pages because this is the energy read that I had done on Little Nas. And, some more pages to skip. The video I had done on Marie Antoinette and Jimi Hendrix. I'm a rather prolific content creator. Now, this next person I was asked to look into is an American actor by the name of Jonah Hill. He has an estimated net worth of $80 million. Let's see what his energy wanted to share with me. And yes, Shivani, I do, in fact, do personal readings as well. However, this is all previously channeled information, so I'm not taking any personal questions today. I love that, Steve. Steve said prolific and pro-lipstick content creator. And yes, Susanna said yay for the AMA. Mod Army asked, what are you reading? This is my notebook. This is all information that I have previously channeled. It's far too much to remember. So I write down everything and then I read from my notebook when I am sharing what has come in. So it's not like I'm reading, this is all channeled information. This is all my own channeled information. It's the goods that my own personal guides have brought. This is not from anybody else. This is my guides, my goods, my notebook that I share with you guys. You're welcome. So let's see what Jonah Hill's energy wanted to share with me. Jonah Hill remembers what it was like to be the funny fat friend. Again, these are his words, not my own. Those were the good old days, the days when he felt most like himself and safe in himself. Now he is skinny and not nearly as funny, and he gets far too much attention. And he acknowledges it's funny saying that because he was and is an actor, so he's used to getting attention, but this is different attention. This is being told he looks great, and ew! He never wanted to look great, and that's why he was heavy. Like, come on, people, he shared. People aren't heavy because they lack self-control around food. They're heavy because they were too young to wield any control around an adult who definitely had no self-control around kids. So maybe read between the lines of what he's saying here, but if you don't worry. He gets to the point and he tells you exactly what. He doesn't mince words. Yes, he shared. He was touched as a child by adults that lack self-control around children. It was horrific, and he spent the greater part of his adult life running away from feeling so out of control and diffusing those uncomfortable feelings with humor. He was fat, but he was happy. Now he is thin, but decidedly unhappy. But that's Hollywood. They pick at a scab to make it look better, but it's still a picked scab. So that is what I have for you on Jonah Hill. Yes, I did say Jonah Hill. Any questions, please do let me know. Now, the next person whose energy I was asked to look into is a comedian and a writer by the name of Bill Maher. He has an estimated net worth of $140 million. And because I've been asked this in the past and I will probably get asked it again, if you yourself have heard rumors or speculation who his biological father is, he has confirmed it is who you think it is. And if you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, this message is not for you. So let's see what Bill Maher's energy wanted to share with me. This is a little political, but I'm again going to remind you, these are not my words. This is what Bill Maher's energy had shared with me. He gets political. If you're just tuning in, I don't get political here. Because fuck politics. And all politicians, irrespective of what side they're on or what they identify as, they're like they're all owned and operated anyway. So I don't talk politics here. So again, I'm just going to remind you, this is his energy, not my own personal opinions. Here we go. Bill Maher laughs and tells me he used to be as dense as Joy Behar. If you know, you know. I've done a previous segment on her. Yes, replay crew, I will also link it down below if you have not yet seen it. If you're like, why is he talking about Joy Behar being dense? Watch the segment and you too will understand Joy Behar's mental density. So yes, he laughs and tells me he used to be as dense as Joy Behar, but he's glad he's loosened up. First of all, it's the Democratic Party that began his wake up. A lifelong Democrat and proud of it, he meant what he has said in the past about the Democratic Party abandoning the people. Because did it not used to be the party of the people? Now it's the party of the elites. And don't get him wrong, he can hang with the elites, but does not consider himself one of them. Because whereas the elites are entitled, he does not consider himself to be. He has actually worked hard to get where he is, and he values above all others a lively mind and inability to have a conversation. It's okay not to always or even ever agree, but how nice it is to discuss your differences without devolving into talking point memos. And so many elites seem to lack critical thinking. Perhaps it's guys, a phone call was coming in. Thank you for letting me know there was no sound. Let me go back a little bit so I can catch you guys up. He had said how nice it is to discuss your differences without devolving into talking point memos. And so many elites seem to lack critical thinking. Perhaps it is a side effect of being raised with a silver spoon in your mouth, but whatever it is, it's terribly dreary. And he has slowly began to look around and realize that the party of the people was homogenized and everyone began to look the same. And that didn't feel very inclusive. And the Trump derangement syndrome, he asks, what was that? And he began to wonder, had he ever been as bad as those people suffering from the so-called Trump derangement syndrome? He hoped not, because those people were unhinged. So it's been a bumpy ride, but also, unlike the elites, he's not above admitting when he was wrong. He was. He does not think blindly following any politician is right either, so he hopes to find the balance, and he'll keep staying curious and asking questions until he does. So that is what I have for you on Bill Maher. Any questions, please do let me know down below. Hi, Colleen, darling. Now, this next topic I was asked to look into, very interesting, which is another reason I love doing these AMAs, because you guys ask me questions I would never even think of, like topics and people I would never even think of like looking into. So kudos to you guys. I was asked, have I ever knowingly met an angel or a shapeshifter? So here we go. So first of all, I want to say that I love this question. It just tickles me, but I don't know why. But I appreciate you guys trusting in me that I would know if I had. So to be clear, to date, I have not. As in, I have never knowingly, as in I knew at the moment I met a person, I have never knowingly met an angel or a shapeshifter. I have never spoken with someone and thought this person is an angel. However, what I can say is that now knowing what I know because of the work that I do, I have met a lot of watered-down versions of reptilians because, as it's been shown to me, narcissists are the progeny of them. And while it is doubtful any of them were shape-shifting reptilians, because those are in prominent positions, and I have not, in fact, met anyone in a truly prominent position, it is certainly within the realm of possibility that I have. Again, I just haven't knowingly met a shape-shifting reptilian. But I will also share with you guys that I have seen entities and more weird events than I can even begin to recount. And on occasion, I have to remind the spirits that come to visit me, not now. My business is not open now. As in, I'm not going to play with your energy and I'm not going to entertain it now either. So come back later. Because as in with dealing with narcissists, boundaries are always a good thing, even with harmless spirits that relish in being seen. So I hope that answers your question, and any questions, please do let me know down below. You know what, Kaiser Soze, I have previously looked into Mel Gibson. He is in a video where I looked into Mel Gibson, Michael Hutchence, and because me and fucking names. I see his face in my mind. I cannot recount his name at the moment. He's Ryan, not Ryan Gosling. He's Ryan Reynolds' bestie at the current moment. You all know who I'm talking about. I've looked into Mel's energy in the past. You can find him previously in a Jamie. Oh shit! I married a reptilian. LOL. Go back, Jamie, watch the members video that I had done on David Icke. Rewatch that video, love. Hello, searching for synchronicities. I am so glad that you made it to a live as well. All right, the next person I was asked to look into is a former model by the name of Linda Evangelista, who has an estimated net worth of $40 million. Now, I remember seeing Linda Evangelista in New York City. This is like back in, I shit you not, like 2009, 2010. She is striking in person. She was so beautiful, tall, statuesque. She was just wearing jeans and like whatever. But I gotta tell you, she was beautiful in person. Let's see what her energy wanted to share with me. Linda Evangelista cringes at her younger self. God, the things she said. She was so self-important, and now with her sensibility, it was so cringe. She was so cringe. Growing up and growing older, though still beautiful, has been a humbling experience for her, and she hopes to continue to grow older gracefully. That is what I have for you on Linda Evangelista. Any questions, please do let me know down below. Now, this next one is very, very short, but again, I do not discriminate against information that comes in. If it comes in, even if it's short, I will relay it with you. Jewel said, I know her for her quote. Maldives, she was my favorite supermodel. She really does have a unique look. She's really so just striking in real life. That's what I can say. Hello, Sass VRL. I had experiences with those entities. They are up to no good. They want to steal your soul, kill, and destroy. Just focus on raising your vibration, because the more high vibe you are, the less they actually can impact you. Hello, Project 25. Project 25 asks, have you heard about the model Gia Karanji? I have. I don't know that I've ever looked into her, but I'm happy to add her to the list for the next AMA. So again, this next one is super, super short. I was asked to look into the singer and the songwriter by the name of Bob Dylan. He has an estimated net worth of $500 million. Let's see what his energy wanted to share with me. Bob Dylan tells me, your host, Faye, tells me, I'm a real piece of shit for disturbing his peace, and he slammed the door shut on his energy. And I was like, oh, why, Bob? Why? Is it because I blew the lid on the fact that you sold your soul to the devil? So who's really the piece of shit? Bob Dylan, I ask you. And if you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? Go back and watch my most recent video that I have done on the Freemasons. He sold his soul to the devil. He admitted it. Go back and watch the video. Jamie said, oh, the look fake. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of saucy today, apparently. Sass, there is only one way, and his name is Jesus. I've done deep Kundalini activation. I've seen the heaven open up, and Jesus was near the Father, and Satan was accusing me, was floating in air as a spirit. Well, we're going to be discussing Mr. Satan shortly. You might want to stick around. Now, the next person whose energy I was asked to look into is a former basketball player by the name of Shaquille O'Neal. He has an estimated net worth of $500 million. Let's see what his energy wanted to share with me. Shaquille O'Neal laughs and tells me, it's great being in the club. They've taken care of him, haven't they? To the tune of $500 million? And all it cost was playing a part. So who cares if people think he couldn't shoot a free throw if his life depended on it? Really, he asks me, who cares? Because he certainly doesn't. And why didn't anyone ever look at him critically and think to themselves, here's a big tall guy. He is strong, probably really strong. He is over 7 feet tall, and he somehow doesn't have adequate upper body strength to successfully shoot a free throw? How? Like, how's that possible? And more importantly, maybe, how has nobody ever thought of that? And how has no one wondered how he got into the NBA with just his height and his ability to dunk? Talk about the least well-rounded player he would have been. So yeah, he laughs now, then, and always, because he's in the club, and we are, in fact, none the wiser. He's winning, and, well, he doesn't have to say it outright. It's our ignorance to the fact that spells it out. But he's a nice guy, he tells me. He really is, and he wants us to know that. And that despite his snark at the end there, he is a self-proclaimed nice guy. So that is what I have for you on Shaquille O'Neal. Any questions, please do let me know down below. Hold on. I'm going to catch up on some comments here. Yes, Beth. Spice and snark. Hello, Mama Lady. Jewel, I mean, Jesus is not the only way, but the Kundalini activation is definitely an interesting and intense experience to have. Sas, the same day as the same hour, there were polar lights of red color above my house. The quotidian news wrote about it, and the fact is that when heaven opened, I felt all creation slamming into me. Beautiful. Oh, I didn't know that, Steve. And Shaq owns 9 Papa Johns. Yeah, it is interesting. Steve, he gave free pizza for life to a fat guy. That's not nice. Okay, let's now move on. Hello, Ashley, darling. The next person whose energy I was asked to look into is somebody by the name of Gerard Butler. He is a Scottish actor, and he has an estimated net worth of $80 million. I'm sorry, he's an actor and producer. So this is what his energy wanted to share with me. Gerard Butler sighs and says, "Oh, Faye, Faye, Faye. He has been wondering when I would get around to him." What? He's not famous enough for me? Tisk, tisk, tisk. How naughty I can be to look down upon him so unfavorably. And I realized Gerard Butler is flirting with me. But it's not just that he was flirting with me. Not really. He'd flirt with anyone, because it's how he ingratiates himself with people. And he does it, and he does so because despite his good looks and career in Hollywood, deep down he just wants people to like him. I like you, Gerard. I actually met him in real life. Like, I met him like in the Matrix the Matrix version of real life. I actually met him. He's a big, tall guy. He's kind of good looking. He's nice, certainly nice enough. So I like you, Gerard. But he really does it because deep down he wants people to like him. But because it's beneath him to play it any differently, he flirts, sometimes shamelessly, especially if he's around one or more pretty ladies, because that would be expected of him. But it's sometimes exhausting. And I'm like, tell me, bro, I'm an introvert. Just leaving my house is exhausting. So the older he gets, the more he hermits at home. And again, I'm like, tell me, bro. Do you want to hermit at home with me? I wouldn't mind. You're good looking. You're tasty. And if he's away from people, he doesn't have to perform and hope for them to like him. Being an actor is so great, right? He asked me sarcastically. They are either all narcissists or pretty birds with broken wings being told to fly for the audience's entertainment. That is what I have for you on Gerard Butler. Any questions, please do let me know down below. I'm going to skip some pages on some other videos that I have done. Steve said she'd have to be at this point, but real fame. Spiritual strength, popularity, flame. Love that. Yeah, he is Maldives baby tasty. He is tasty. All right, this next one, no one asked me to look into this, but sometimes as the energy reader, I'm like, I want to look into this. I'm going to look into it. And then I share with you what I find. So I was wondering what in fact was going on with the former figure skaters, Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan. Now you may have remembered back in, I want to say prior to the 1994 Winter Olympics, Nancy Kerrigan was attacked when leaving practice with like a crowbar. Like somebody ran up behind her, like whacked her knee and like ran off into the night. And then it turned out that it was Tanya Harding, her main competitor. It was like Tanya Harding's husband, Jeff Gillooly. I can't even remember like an actor's name, but I remember like Tanya Harding's husband's name, Jeff Gillooly. So her husband, Jeff Gillooly, allegedly, supposedly, without her knowledge, hired somebody to like bang Nancy Kerrigan's knee so she wouldn't be able to compete in the Olympics. She did, and she won silver. But that's not here and that's not there. Hold on. I got some comments I want to catch up on here. Hold on. Jamie said, P.S. I Love You was my favorite. That movie made me cry buckets. Sass, the fact about Jesus is that the church didn't understand what he had done, and I have an entire freestanding video on Jesus, Sass. You might want to go back and watch it. Extension said, can someone tell me what's going on here? We're just hanging out, buddy. You're welcome to join, or you're welcome not to. That's up to you and your free will. Sass, and the trick is understanding that actually you are already forgiven. Yes, that is definitely true. Maldives, I will never forget that. I couldn't believe the Tanya Harding story, right? It is rather memorable. The Opaque, hand over the book first. Let's crack the case wide open. Give me the Spark Notes version. What's the deal? We're getting there. I'm just catching up on comments here. Sass, this will lead you to repentance because you love what you have done. Nicholas said, you are my favorite girl. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I am in the United States of America. No, Zachary, I'm 100% not a dude. Please sit down and be quiet. Please get over your preconceived notions about a girl having short hair and it somehow makes her a boy. No, I'm a lady. I got lady bits. And while I do not use pronouns, I actually am a lady. Thank you. I am your sweetheart. All right, let us now, I know, corny. People who are like, that's 100% a guy because it's got short hair. Dude, please, get over it. All right, let's see what's going on with Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan. So these two have been at it for lifetimes. Yes, literal, lifetimes, plural, and many plural lifetimes. Competitive, always trying to one-up the other one. Even going so far as to get one into trouble so the other one could excel or succeed. In past lives, they have been brothers competing for the same girl, inventors trying to outdo one another, young girls both trying to win the same spelling bee championship in school. Sometimes their antics included pulling hair and having to be separated by teachers, and yes, even death, when one would unalive the other one to get what they wanted, because it was what the other one, in fact, had. So sadly, what's been playing out with these two in this lifetime is, in fact, nothing new. In fact, very sadly, because they keep coming back together again, but not because they have karma that they have to clear before they can move on, but because free will, and on some level, they are still attached to one another because of the shared lifetimes. So they keep deciding to come back together and they continue to compete with each other. I remind you again, free will reigns supreme. So both or one of their souls could just stop it prior to being born or even in any particular lifetime that they come in together. But thus far, neither has. And so around and around they go like a merry-go-round. That is what I have for you on Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan. Any questions, please do let me know. Hello, Ajira, my darling. Sass, you are really lovely. He loves you. You are the only one till now. Didn't block me. I'm serious. Solar Flow, he is God. No man in history has. So first of all, Sass, I will never block somebody if they're high vibe. You can share your opinion as long as it's a high vibe opinion. Like, I'm not really in the habit of blocking people. Not even the trolls, because, frankly, trolls just need attention. Lord knows why. Like, if you need attention, maybe go get it in your real life and not on YouTube. But okay, you do you, boo. Ashley said, how's my love, Rami? Not looking into him today. We've already looked into him. I'm going to do a conscious hydration break. And then we're next going to move on to the next topic. The opaque. Hold on. Madam Scream-a-Lot, we need intel. What's the book you're devouring? You read anecdotes like a scholar or espresso, and suddenly, plot twist, the whole thing morphs into a conspiracy theory. I mean, life really is one large conspiracy theory, is it not? And the notes that I am reading from are my previously channeled information on topics that you guys have asked me to look into. Are we consciously hydrating? I hope so. If not, here's your reminder. Consciously hydrate. Okay. Hi, Samaya. Samaya, it's very interesting how when we incarnate, our memories are wiped. Yes, you said it, girl. But our soul dynamics with other souls continue to play out. Why can't it be wiped when we incarnate too? That's soul memories and soul attachment are super strong, or they can be. Not always are they super strong. Simply Smile, is it true to say that not all Freemasons are dark? Yes, go back and watch the most recent video that I had done on Freemasons. Many of them are in fact nothing more than just useful idiots. All right, the next topic I was asked to look into, or rather, the next person whose energy I was asked to look into is Henry Ford. Now, he was the founder of the Ford Motor Company, a business magnate, and at the time of his death, he was worth $200 million. Let's see what his energy wanted to share with me. Yes, we do have a lot of useful idiots. In the world at large, too. Oh my God, I just snorted on camera. The internet is forever. I cannot undo that. All is well here. It's real life over here. All right, this is what Henry Ford's energy wanted to share with me. Henry Ford's energy is one that has been hard to track down. Legit. He has been in my notebook for fucking ever. Literally, I even wrote, he has been on my list for months, and I only kept him on it because I thought he'd really have something interesting to share when he came in to me. And when he finally came in, it was interesting. He shared he does not spend much time in and around the Earth plane. On occasion, sure. He checks in on his company, as in the Ford Motor Company. It's interesting, Maya. What were we just saying? He even still refers to it as his company. He was the founder of it. It bears his name. So he checks in on his company, events of the world, and then he leaves. It's not his world anymore. And it hasn't been for some time now. So to stick around feels perverse. Like stalking a wife you left. It defies the natural order of things. Also, as a creator and an innovator on the world and no longer having a body to continue to contribute to the evolution and order of things was hard for him. Especially the new awareness he had on the other side. He could see everything and how much information and inspiration was available to him. As an innovator, it was just incredible. But to know he would lose all of it when he was born again, not as in born again Christian, as in when his soul would choose to reincarnate back into life, but he would forget everything that he had seen on the other side. No, he decided to stick around for a bit to see what would become of the world and the cars. But as the 1960s came around and the world was well and truly changing, even in spirit form, he felt he no longer fit around the world, and he left. It was a challenge to let go of the attachment to Earth, to let go to his identity as a creator. But he really wasn't attached to his family, but things, as in 3D material things. And that realization helped him let go. It has been freeing in many ways, but in others, he does still feel tethered because he was a central figure to the changing of the world. He says that without arrogance, but more as a matter of fact, and that's what makes it hard to entirely let go and leave. Because people still talk about him, and it made him feel he should stick around. But again, without a body, what good was he to the world? So it was an adjustment for him. To hear people speak of him and to know it's not him anymore. That life as Henry Ford was like a favored shirt, but even those get worn out and replaced. And even as an innovator, it was his time to go. He contributed and then his time was up. So he moved on. And that's that. So that is what I have for you on Henry Ford. Any questions, please do let me know down below. I am so sorry that you guys can hardly hear me. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I moved away. I was sitting back. I'm so sorry, guys. Did you guys hear anything that I had said on Henry Ford? Or did I hear, was it like I was underwater for the entire segment? Let me know. And if need be, I'll do the entire segment on Henry Ford again. I'm so sorry that you guys could not hear me. Okay, you can hear me. It's Raptor said, ma'am, you told me skinwalkers aren't from Earth, but a different dimension. Do you think they believe in God? And were they created by... Everything was created by God. Everything. Did you guys hear anything that I had said about Henry Ford? Do you want me to completely redo I'm running out of time here. Like this is gonna have to be split up into 2 separate segments. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm more than happy to redo the segment on Henry Ford if you did not hear what I had said, because I think it's an interesting segment. It was like for that entire segment, but oh God, I'm so sorry. Unknown, this is my channel. I'll show my nails if I want to. Adam, on a scale from 1 to 10, what's your favorite color? What? All right. Guys, do you want me to redo the segment on Henry Ford? You got to let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the next segment. Okay. Jamie said, hell yeah, Faye. Okay, so I could hear you just a little. Okay, all right. I'm going to read it quick, though. Okay, guys? Okay. So, Henry Ford. His energy is one that has been hard to track down. He has been on my list for months, and I only kept him on it because I thought he'd really have something interesting to share when he came into me. And when he finally did come into me, it was in fact interesting. He shared he doesn't spend much time in or around the Earth plane. On occasion, sure. He checks in on his company, the events of the world, and then he leaves. It's not his world anymore, and it hasn't been for some time now. So to stick around feels perverse, like stalking a wife you left. It defies the natural order of things. And also, as a creator and an innovator on the world and no longer having a body to continue to contribute to the evolution and the order of things was hard for him. Especially with the new awareness that he had on the other side. Because he could suddenly see everything and how much information and inspiration was available to him. And as an innovator, it was just incredible. But to know he'd lose all of it when he was born again, as in reincarnated back into the world? Nah, he decided to stick around for a bit, see what would become of the world and of cars. But as the 1960s came and the world was well and truly changing, even in spirit form, he felt he no longer fit around the world and he left. Which is why thank you, universe, for the punctuation. Which is why his energy was so hard to track down. It was a challenge, he shared with me, to let go of the attachment to Earth and to his identity as a creator. But he really wasn't attached to his family, but things, as in 3D material things. And that realization helped him let go. It's been freeing in many ways, but in others, he does still feel tethered because he was a central figure to the change of the world. He says that without arrogance, but more as a matter of fact, and that's what makes it hard to entirely let go and leave. Because people still talk about him, and it made him feel he should stay around. But again, without a body, what good was he to the world? So it was an adjustment for him. To hear people speak of him and to know it's not him they were speaking of anymore. That life of Henry Ford was like a favored shirt. But even those get worn out and replaced. And even as an innovator, it was time for him to go. His contributed time was up, so he's moved on. Thank you, universe. So that's what I have for you on Henry Ford. Any questions, please do let me know. Hello, Swimmingly. Jewel, I believe there's only one God, but sometimes I am wondering, how did God come into existence? Now that would be a compelling video all within itself. Hello, Tucker Johnson Jr. Now this next topic could very possibly be its own standalone video, so I don't know that I'm going to do it. I might come back to it if I have time, but I'll give you a sneak peek. The question is why the club literally sacrifices lives, or it has boys parading around as girls. Part of that is answered in the video that I had done on the Freemasons. But again, this is like another additional nugget to add to it. But again, I think it's going to be its own video. So I don't think I'm going to go there right now. Swimmingly, can you channel the Greek god Ares and tell me what you think? I can add it to the list, but I'm not doing it right now because this is all pre-channeled information. All right, the next topic the next person I was asked to look into is a singer and songwriter by the name of Billy Ray Cyrus. I think he's in fact a country singer and songwriter. He has an estimated net worth of $10 million, and he is the father of Miley Cyrus, right? And a whole bunch of other Cyrus spawns. Yes, Miley, thank you. Let's see what his energy wanted to share with me. Billy Ray Cyrus can be cruel, and he has a sense of entitlement. But he asks me rhetorically, yes, Noah, thank you. But he asks me rhetorically, have you seen his life? As if that somehow answers the question to his level of entitlement, but whatever, okay. So he asked rhetorically, have you or me or anyone seen his life? Because if we lived like he did, we would be cruel too. And I'm like, no, dog, no. Free will. But okay. And this is why energy reading will never become tiresome to me. So he again alleges, or he claims, that if we lived like he would, we would be cruel too. And we too would think that the world revolves around us. He claims, happy birthday, DJ Akira. Ashley's like, I don't care about his life. I don't care about his life either, but somebody asked, so here we are. He claims he was a pioneer. Full of yourself much? And he forever changed the musical landscape, and now Miley's gone and done that as well. They're a dynasty, he tells me. Don't we all see it? So I tell him, no. And as far as his songs go, the only one I know is, I think, a song called My Achy Breaky Heart. You might imagine this deeply wounded him. This deeply offended him. Like, how do I not know one of his songs, or all of his songs, in fact? So he narrows his eyes at me and says, let me guess. You're a Taylor Swift fan. To which I shake my head and I say, I don't worship any of the false idols, and especially not those that are owned by the club. So that means not Taylor, not himself, and not Miley either. To which he slams his energy shut on me. So that is what I have for you on Billy Ray Cyrus. Any questions, please do let me know. My achy breaky heart with achy break. Okay, yeah, I didn't know. Hi, Lisa, darling. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with any of his music, except maybe my achy breaky heart. So let's move on. The next person I was asked to, I know we're all funny here, right? Ashley is like on fire today. We're all on fire today, guys, except the trolls. You guys are not on fire. You need a life. The next person I was asked to look into is a singer and an actress by the name of Barbra Streisand. She has an estimated net worth of $500 million. You heard right, $500 million. Maybe you guys didn't hear. She has an estimated net worth of $500 million. Let's see what Babs Energy wanted to share with me. Barbra Streisand, too, has a sense of entitlement. Shocker, I know. She just hides it a little better than Billy Ray Cyrus does. She is more clever. She is definitely more shrewd. So it's kind of the difference between nouveau riche, as in new money and old money. Billy Ray Cyrus is akin to new money, so he's more over the top. And Babs is old money. Because whereas, in case you guys didn't realize, Billy Ray Cyrus joined the club recently, and his kids were raised in the club, Babs was born into the club. How else do we explain how a not very pretty Jewish girl with a big nose makes it as big as she did? This is not judgment. I'm not judging her. This is a statement of fact. Barbra Streisand is not very pretty. She does have a big nose. I'm just stating facts over here, y'all. So no offense to her voice, but for every Barbra Streisand, there are 10 beautiful girls just as talented as her whose career went absolutely nowhere. So because Barbra Streisand was born into the club, she has had a lifetime to perfect the art of being better than us without flaunting it. Except for her house, because it's clear to anyone with eyes she lives large and is not at all like us. She also doesn't feel the need to explain herself to me. She has no qualms with her life and her lifestyle because she was raised that way. Whatever we're told about her is not true. She was raised that way, and therefore it is not out of the ordinary to her. Okay, so she has nice things. And okay, so we don't. And like, what's the problem? Maybe, she tells me rhetorically, if we worked harder, we too could live like her. But that just shows the disconnect, because it's not a matter of how hard we work, because, as you all know, there are gatekeepers. So it's easy for her to say work harder when she's never been held back from success, and it's all been guaranteed to her. And speaking of which, when was the last time she worked? I asked her. To which she declares she paid her dues and can now enjoy her life. And she sniffs, like it's obvious that a woman her age should retire and enjoy her life. To which I think to myself, I know far too many women that will never have the opportunity to retire, but it's something she would never understand. So ultimately, I choose to disconnect from her energy, as she's not very insightful, and she in fact reminds me a bit of Hillary Clinton. So that is what I have for you on Barbra Streisand. Any questions, please do let me know down below. Chrome Doe said, great, another MAGA. Hey, baby, I have a suggestion. Maybe ask instead of assuming, okay? Love you, bye. Oh, honey, I love you, Lucky. Thank you so much. Steve said no. Ew. Steve, her bill is bigger than a platypus. Yeah, she really is out of touch with reality. Okay, Okay, I caught up on comments there. Steve, that's the worst insult ever. You kind of remind me of Hillary Clinton. Sorry. All right, so any questions on Out of Touch Bab Streisand, please do let me know. Oh, Jobin Gardner, try harder. Try harder. Seriously, like, are we that limited as people? That you see a girl with short blonde hair and the first thing that you're saying is, Ellen, try harder. Try harder. I'm sure you're a very intelligent person. You're just not exhibiting your vast, expansive knowledge and intelligence right now by seeing me and saying, Ellen, try harder. Okay. The next person whose energy I was asked to look into is Carmen Electra. She is an actress and a model, and she has an estimated net worth of $8 million. Let's see what her energy wanted to share with me. Me, Faye, not Ellen DeGeneres, because try harder. Okay. Carmen Electra shakes her head and says a part of her will never get over Dave Navarro. She was married to him. And another part of her hates him. He was supposed to be her ever after, but he broke her heart and proved he's just another bad boy who couldn't stop himself from straying. You're welcome, Beth. It didn't matter that he told her she was the hottest piece of ass he'd tapped. It didn't matter how many times he told her he loved her. He still went out and cheated on her. So she guesses the joke's on her for trusting him, right? But she also rushes to point out, despite this, he's not a bad guy. And it's really important to her that we understand that. Because if he was a bad guy, what does that say about her and her taste in men? So to protect herself, we think he's a good guy that just messed up, than to think he's just another douchebag. Because if he is a douchebag, again, then what does that say about her? So I press her and I ask, if he's really a good guy who just messed up, why'd you divorce him? So she tells me once the trust was gone and there was no coming back from that, at least for her. He would have stayed married to her, but she knew that at the end of the day, she would never know where he was or who he had been with and what he had been doing, and that eroded the trust in the relationship. Pontus Rasmussen, if I have an annoying voice, you're welcome to leave. She reflects on how true the expression is, it takes a lifetime to build trust, and it could be destroyed in a moment, because it certainly was their case. But again, she reminds me, he's genuinely a good guy. Lisa Sims, he has insecurity issues. Jamie, tell him, Faye. It's just remarkable. People on the internet, it's like, you can't see me, you don't know who I am, I can be an asshole. Okay, whatever. Be an asshole. I'm so offended. The next, that's what I have for you on Carmen Electra. Any questions, please do let me know. You do kind of have Ellen's voice. Guess what? You don't have to stay to listen to my kind of Ellen's voice if you don't want to. You are welcome to leave. Bye-bye. The next person whose energy I was asked to look into is somebody by the name of Rachel McAdams. She is an actress. She has an estimated net worth of $25 million. John is asking, is this your first time on the internet? Hey, baby, I have an idea. Why don't you go click on the about and see how long I've been on here instead of asking? See how many videos I've actually in fact done instead of asking? Because again, you're just showing your ignorance. We don't like ignorant people here. Yeah, they are hiding behind screens. Okay, so let's see what Rachel McAdams wanted to share with me. So when I was in her energy, it was literally like a stream of consciousness. I know, wow, some people, right? It's, by the way, it's always the people that do less that are going to try to tear you down. Because I guarantee you, other content creators that know what it's like to try to build a brand from literally nothing, they're not going to be out here tearing down another content creator. So you know what? If I'm triggering you because I'm doing more than you, then guess the fuck what? Get off your lazy ass and go create something. Because then maybe you will not, in fact, have the bandwidth to criticize other content creators. It's just an idea. But you do you, boo. Hello, Yusuf, my darling. I am doing well. Thank you so much for asking. And I'm happy that you were able to catch the live today, too. So let's see what Rachel McAdams energy wanted to share with me. So again, long stream of consciousness. As soon as I connected to her energy, trolls are unemployed. They might, in fact, be. Rachel McAdams rolls her eyes and acknowledged she's really been pigeonholed into her career. Not that she's complaining, because she has had a career, and unless you are Meryl Streep, it's proof that one day you wake up and your career is over along with your youth. She knows it's a cautionary tale and a reality that all the young actresses must deal with and must confront. Just look at Sharon Stone, she tells me. True, she is no Sharon Stone, and she did make her way, as in Rachel McAdams is saying, she made her way in by being America's sweetheart, and therefore she's more akin to Reese Witherspoon. But has anyone seen Reese Witherspoon lately? It's so tricky, she tells me, and even with a little nip and tuck, no one is immune to aging. I love you, Lucky. Thank you, darling. Oh, and I love you too, Trey. Thank you. I'm glad that you caught us too. I'm happy that you guys are enjoying watching me cursing out the trolls today. Oh, Lucky, you are spot on. Lucky said, you know who else had short blonde hair? Princess Diana, and I don't hear no haters on her. Although, to be honest, if Princess Diana had a YouTube channel, even in her heyday, there for sure probably would have been haters. Yeah, Steve's like, where to spoon? I know, where's Reese Witherspoon lately? Back to Rachel McAdams. And don't get her started on men and their aging, because somehow they just look more distinguished, more sexy, and somehow more manly. But that's the Hollywood game, she supposes. Fresh-faced ingenue one day, retired hag another. I'm like, that's the 3D. Sigh. So that's what I have for you on Rachel McAdams. Any questions, please do let me know. Oh my God, Steve. Princess Diana's OnlyFans is on sale this month. All right, this next one is a very, very short segment. I was asked to look into the singer Naomi Judd, who I think recently crossed over. So as soon as I connected to her energy, she bites her lip, groans, and says, oh no, not another Ellen DeGeneres. No, I'm kidding. Groans and says, oh no, not another energy reader. And she shoos me away like I'm a cat trying to enter her home. That's what I have for you on Naomi Judd. Any questions, please do let me know. All right, this next one, personally, I think is a very interesting topic. It's going to get asterisks in it for the replay crew because I think he is very, very interesting energy. I was asked to look into the actor and martial artist by the name of Wesley Snipes. He has an estimated net worth of $10 million. Let's see what his energy wanted to share with me. She didn't want to talk. Wesley Snipes thinks Hollywood is a sham. No, he amends that and says at this point he knows Hollywood is a sham. As in, he doesn't think it anymore, he knows it. It's not his first day on set, and he no longer has stars in his eyes. He's no longer the idealistic newbie that still believes the industry is a movie industry. It's not. It's a power and control industry, and at first, they let you think you have power just so that they can control you. Then you realize you actually have no power and are in fact controlled. Like the time his credit card didn't work. the times it didn't work, because it happened more than once to him. When he tried to use it and was told he needs to stay in line. His own credit cards didn't work when he tried to use them. It was his own money that he had earned working. So imagine what a rude awakening that was for him, to find out the money, in fact, wasn't his, and it wasn't given to him to pay for a job done, but was given to him to control him. Why else does anyone think actors are paid so well? What are they? They're just people like you and me, so why are they paid so much? He asks rhetorically. It's to keep them in line, to make them think they're great, to make them think they're special, but then to be reminded they're in fact no one. Because if you don't do as you are told, you can't even touch the money you were paid. Because it's not in fact yours. Not really. It's an account with your name on it, but it's somebody else's that really controls it. Like they're all secretly in a conservatorship. So he has a lot of sympathy for Brittany and now Wendy, because they just publicly have gone through what he and other actors have secretly gone through. And Ryan Reynolds, he has choice words for Ryan Reynolds. He says, Ryan Reynolds, oh, that tighty whitey, that piece of bland Wonder Bread, he's the absolute worst, according to Wesley Snipes. The biggest ass kisser he has ever seen, but look at him now. Ass kissing does well because Ryan has a career, more money than he can possibly spend, and a pretty but very vapid wife. Hi, Blake. Grab your florals, grab your besties. Go turn a movie about DV into a rom-com and then wonder why people don't like you. But I digress. And what does Wesley have? The remains of a career. Oh, he could act. Boy, could let Wesley act. But Wesley is no ass kisser, and Hollywood is no movie industry. So that's that. So that is what I have for you on Wesley Snipes. Any questions, please do let me know. I'm seeing a lot of weird, thank you for the compliment. See, some of you hate my hair and some of you love my hair. I just can't make everybody happy, so guess what? I'm not going to try. I'm going to make myself happy and I'm going to wear my hair the way I like it. And if you don't like it, guess what? You don't have to stick around and you don't have to comment either. That is what I have for you on Wesley Snipes. Any questions, please do let me know. The next person I was asked to look into is a former basketball player by the name of Dennis Rodman. Now, he too is going to get an asterisk. Thank you for the compliment, cool edited. He's going to get an asterisk because somebody asked, can you tell me what DV is? I just got here. DV stands for domestic violence. You know, Mitchell, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. So now Dennis Rodman is also going to get asterisks by his name because, again, what he shares I found to be very, very interesting. Another interesting thing is that during the course of his NBA career, he earned around $27 million, but to date, according to Google anyway, he only has an estimated net worth of $500,000. You know what? I think I would make a good action movie hero. Thank you for the compliment. You have redeemed yourself. Let's see what Dennis Energy wanted to share with me. Dennis Rodman was a dandy. Oh, he was definitely a dandy in a past life. And we can even see shades of that in this lifetime. even if one does not like the way that he has adorned himself and expressed himself, but it's still in fact what it is. Free will, personal expression, and a flair for fun. Because from Dennis Rodman's point of view, being around all those suits will do that to you. Because those suits, as in the men that wear suits, those are the boring contract negotiations with short guys in suits while he towered over them. But yet, they still had more power and control over him. So he dug deep and he rebelled in some minor ways that he could. So he became the opposite of the suits, with crazy neon hair, because fuck them, like the trolls. He concludes the suits were not the talent, they weren't the players, but boy, could they tell the players what to do. And yeah, some of the other players resented it, but they hid it well, and well, he, Dennis Rodman, just couldn't. And in some ways, it became a persona. So him being crazy and over the top became a persona. And he began to really play it up even after he retired, because why not? It was fun, which was something those ass-clenching, constipated suits never had. He also has choice words. I'm going to repeat it. Because fun was something those ass-clenching, constipated suits never had. He'd look at them and imagine them fucking their wives missionary style. Of course, it's only missionary style. So he'd ask how their wives and how their family was doing. Conversationally. Like he was a friendly fool. And then he would imagine fucking this fool's wife the way she probably wanted or needed to be fucked. Filled. Owned. But wild and free. Not quiet like, so the kids don't know what mommy and daddy are up to in the other room. Those poor, pathetic fools, they may have had the power over the players, but it was only an illusion. A mutually agreed upon illusion, but an illusion nonetheless. So that is what I have for you on Dennis Rodman. Any questions, please do let me know. Yeah, Dennis is a true rebel. Ashley, love him more now. His name is Rodman. All right, now the next person whose energy I was asked to look into is somebody by the name of Val Kilmer. Now, he is an actor that very recently passed away in April of 2025. And at the time of his crossing, he was worth an estimated $10 million. Geocosmic Valentine asks, what book are we reading? This is not a book. These are my channeled notes. I get questions from you guys on what topics you want me to look into. I channel them. And then because it's hella fucking long and there's no way I'm going to remember it all, I write it down and then I read it to you. Like story time. It's adult story time, but it's clean and it's about energy. So let's see what Val Kilmer's energy wanted to share with me. Val Kilmer gave up. He had a life, a sometimes good one at that, but he was tired. So very tired, and he tapped out. Not as in he unalived himself, but as in he lost the will. He lost the drive to keep on keeping on. He was ready, and in his dreams, he began to get glimpses of what else there was. What else was waiting for him, and it seemed rather ideal. No body, no pain, no suffering, no heartbreak, no bad days. So he stopped fighting for himself and his survival and is glad he has passed on. He spent very little time on the other side because he has even now already moved on and his energy is like a whisper on the wind. He is free and his energy is gone. That is what I have for you on Val Kilmer. Any questions, please do let me know. Thank you, Jamie, for saying like the button. Hit the like button, you all. Geocosmic Valentine said the most awesome story time ever. Jen, just saw this. I know I will be listening to this on my flight to Virginia tomorrow, and it will have timestamps by then too, darling. No, Mitchell, I have not heard of the psychic from Australia. Have you heard of me? I'm a psychic in America. All right. Should I do this one now? Hold on. I'm going to skip some pages. This next one's on Social Security, but I might do it a little bit later on because I have Social Security and I have Social Security numbers and I might want to actually keep them together. So I'm going to skip some pages over here and I'm going to here's a members video. No, this is not a members. Guys, was my video on George Soros a members video? Because I don't even know any longer. Mitchell, I just want to know if she's a fake. She seemed a bit culty. You know what I'm going to tell you? Trust your intuition on that, honey, okay? This is a good one. Okay. The next person whose energy I was asked to look into is somebody by the name of Stephen Hawkins. He is a theoretical physicist and cosmologist. Say that 3 times very, very fast. Let's see what happens. Swimmingly, trolls, go get a hobby. They really do need to get a hobby. I agree with you. All right, let's see what Steven's energy wanted to share with me. Do you think if I flashed them my underpants, the trolls would shut up? I mean, I'm not going to because I'm a fucking mother. And no, just wondering if you think that would make them shut up. Swimmingly, we appreciate what you're doing for us, Faye. Thank you. You are most welcome. I'm still not going to flash my underwear to anybody. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. There's OnlyFans for that, and I'm not on it. Okay, let's see what Steven's energy wanted to... He's also interesting. He's going to get an asterisk. I love you, Steve. Okay. Stephen Hawkins saw the rip in reality, if you will. He essentially saw through the Matrix, which is different than seeing it, knowing there is one, and then withdrawing your attention from it. Because he didn't, in fact, see it at all. He saw the world as it really was, and that's why he was so brilliant. There was no veil, nothing hindering him from expanding. He had no attachment to anything on the 3D material plane because, in a sense, this too wasn't real to him in the same way the Matrix wasn't real to him either. Because he saw through it. He saw beyond it. He didn't even see it. It was this lack of focus for what is that led to the degeneration of his body. Dun, dun, dun! The plot thickens. No, not Epstein, Stephen Hawkins. So it's like a monk who has trained themselves not to eat and only survive on water alone. By gradually pushing how far they could go between meals until there are no meals, and the body does not need meals nor even miss it. Stephen's body was almost an afterthought energetically, and that is what led to the decay of it. Right? He's most well known for like being in a wheelchair and like he couldn't even talk, right? Like he couldn't move, he couldn't talk, he couldn't do anything. He gradually became paralyzed more and more. Well, hold on. He gradually became paralyzed and I don't even know what the fuck I wrote here, guys. Anyway, he gradually became paralyzed, and as he more sought to set his mind free from his body followed suit. So he's a really good example of an extreme case of where we put our attention, energy flows, and conversely, where we detract attention, energy ceases to flow. Now, this is not me victim blaming, and far from it, just pointing out the reality. If someone doesn't water their lawn, that too will decay and die. In this case, Stephen's body was his lawn. Now, this is all I can pick up on his energy because it's that far away. And Stephen's energy, too, is a whisper of what was. Because as soon as he was out of his body, he had extreme tunnel vision, and he had extreme tunnel vision as he had in life, and he saw past the family wanting to greet him. He saw past God, saw past everything, and straight to the library, if you will, where all of the secrets of the universe are kept. So that's where he went. Until he realized, why learn about it when he could experience it all? So that's what he did. He peaced out and is long gone from the earth plane. That is what I have for you on Stephen Hawking. Any questions, please do let me know. Hold on, I'm catching up on some. Thank you guys. Thank you mods for clearing out the comments here. Jamie said mine has streaks. Want to see mine? I love you, Jamie girl. Okay. La la la. Hold on. Mitchell, I don't know what would make you a long life watcher, but okay. Steve said, well, I'll know when to lick a popsicle or two, but I mean extending space between anything is very interesting. Okay. Ashley, love, I don't know what you think you heard wrong. All right, let's move on. The next person whose energy I was asked to look into, this is a very, very short segment. I was asked to look into a musician by the name of Billy Joe Armstrong, who has an estimated net worth of $75 million. Billy Joe is laughing all the way to the bank. Sellout? He doesn't care what he's called because he'd rather be a rich sellout than a broke-ass musician with principles. So see you, suckers. Billy Joe Armstrong, I was just asked who that is. I think he's the lead singer, I want to say, of a band called Green Day. That's who he is. Now, I was also asked to look into an actor by the name of Billy Bob Thornton. He has an estimated net worth of $45 million. Let's see what his energy wants to share with me. Sometimes Billy Bob Thornton still marvels at it all. The unlikely actor that he is. The diamond in the rough. It seemed like he was plucked from obscurity, but he knows it was really luck. It could have gone either way. Could have never been cast or been cast and his career would have not taken off anyway. And he's been lucky, very lucky. And he's also lucky to be picky, to choose projects and not be pushed into them. He's lucky to be an actor at all and to be an actual actor at that and not some fucking show pony. Does he know what goes on? Sure. And that's why he acknowledges he's lucky. Is he an outlier? Fuck yeah. And that's just how and what he wants to be. That's what I have for you on Billy Bob Thornton. Any questions, please do let me know. Beth, thanks Faye and Fram for such a great live. Love you, darling. I'm so glad you were able to hang with us. I got to start wrapping this up because Pip is going to be home very, very soon. This is somebody, I have to get this in because I know people have been asking about these two forever. So here we go. I was asked to look into Serena and Venus Williams. I did not even look up their estimated net worth. They're tennis players. They're very successful tennis players. I have touched upon them in the video I have done on the Freemasons, but let's see from their own mouth what energy they want to share with me. Serena and Venus Williams both came in together to me because they've always been together. Inseparable from the time they were young. They trained together. They transitioned together. And they faced their father's wrath together. They even joke, when one dies, the other one will feel it, know it, and hopefully moments later will also die, because the prospect of living, or one living without the other, is far too scary and daunting. And while I do not see that literally happening, they are physically and psychically connected. And they can sense what the other one is thinking and feeling, or in pain and suffering. The reason they're so connected is from lifetimes together, and almost always as siblings, but if not siblings, then exceptionally close friends that were akin to brothers, and most of their lives were lived as boys. So aside from their biological gender at birth in this lifetime, they both do have a lot of masculine energy around them, and that is in part because of the accumulation of energy picked up over their various different lifetimes. And while they declined to say more, I did receive consent to look into the energy around them and saw that their family had wanted to join the club for many years before they did. The club was not making it easy for them because their dad was so eager to join. So the club made it a game before they in fact let the family join. And while usually they will only publicly transition the older one, the father was told they could only join if he agreed to transition both of his sons, and he did not hesitate. And believe it or not, the boys, because that's what they are not upset nor angry. They've had a really great life, aside from concealing their gender, and they do not feel that they have missed out on anything. So that is what I have for you on Serena and Venus Williams. Any questions, please do let me know. Let me skip some pages. I really want to try to get through every topic before I have to bounce. So let's see if we can pick up the pace. These are videos that I have previously done on Lilith, on Pope Leo. Here we go. Okay. The next topic I was asked to look into. Hold on. Do I need to catch up on comments first? I don't really see anything I have to comment on. No, so they not at birth, when they were older. A little bit older, not much older. I'm not sure. Email me, Lisa, and I'll send it to you, okay? All right, the next person whose energy I was asked to look into is an English zoologist and primatologist by the name of Jane Goodall. Let's see what her energy wanted to share with me. And I'm going to really pick it up now. Jane Goodall didn't like people much. They were too noisy, even the demure ones, even the polite ones. People tired her. They drained her, and she always came home from another day. She would step inside, lean her head against the inside of her front door, and just breathe and think to herself, "You've done it. You survived another day." Until the horror began all over the following day. She was not an agoraphobic, as in she feared going out, because she didn't. But out, as in the outside world, was one in which she did not feel aligned or alive in. Now, these are not her words, but her energy and what was shown to me. I don't know why I wrote that, but I did. Jane Goodall is somebody that like devoted her life to like living in the wild with chimpanzees or primates. Chimpanzees, monkeys, I don't know. Like she literally lived like 40 years in the wild just observing like chimpanzee. Yes, she is the monkey lady, that's right. But the chimps. Oh, they were so gentle. Even the males that fought for dominance or threw a tantrum, they were such gentle souls. And the world was so still and peaceful there. There was really nothing like it, and any time she came back to England, she couldn't understand how she'd ever lived there. It was so dirty to her, so noisy, and with a chill that seemed near impossible to get out of her bones in the winter. So the chimps became her family, and the wild became her home, and that's all she really wants to be remembered about. So that's what I have for you on Jane Goodall. Any questions, please do let me know. Now I'm going to skip the next one because it's kind of long, and I will do it in another segment, in another AMA. This is on somebody named Kanika Jenkins. This is a girl who went to a party, ended up missing, and then she was discovered unalived. So I forgot who asked me about her. I have looked into her. If I have time, I will get back to her. But dude, I have this many more pages to get through, and my child will be home momentarily because it's the summer and camp, and he gets out of camp earlier. So I'm trying to condense as much as I can and move the fuck on. Now, this is another one that's going to be its own video. Are there psychic spies working for governments around the world? It's going to be a very, very interesting video. Okay, the next person I was asked to look into is a film producer by the name of Jerry Bruckheimer. He has an estimated net worth of $1 billion. Let's see what his energy wanted to share with me. Jerry Bruckheimer nods to let me know he knows what goes on in the industry. I have not looked into Amy Lynn Bradley, I'm sorry. He knows what goes on in the industry. It's kind of obvious to him too, and he says to anyone that it's not obvious to, they are willfully ignoring what is right in front of them. As in, they're being willfully ignorant. He is what I would call an outlier and allowed to do what he does because he makes the studios so much damn money they would be fools not to allow him to create. Because again, if his personal net worth is $1 billion, imagine how much money he has made for the studios. But he also shared with me the studios can be fools because he knows a couple of truly gifted people who were not given a pass to work in the industry, and it's a shame. So he has found ways to work with these people anyway, either as assistants or assistant directors, or to get them some sort of a consulting fee. Little rebellions, to be sure, but the world we live in isn't fair. And the odds are truly stacked against us. So find your own little rebellions and look out for the other good people, not the trolls. Look out for the other good people, and at the end of the day, it may be all we've got. That is what I have for you on Jerry Bruckheimer. Any questions, please do let me know. You are most welcome, Simply Smiles. This next person is going to get their own video. This is on the actor James Dean. I have like 3 pages on him. He's going to get his own video. And it will be well worth the wait. Now, this next one, I'm going to skip a bunch of pages, is an upcoming video. So interesting. I keep saying this to you guys because I have a feeling many of you are going to be like, oh, it's going to be boring. I'm skipping pages on Bernie Madoff. Not boring. Very interesting. But let's skip some pages so I can get to the end here and wrap this up before my kid comes home. I'm skipping pages on the next members video, which is going to be on the Holocaust and Hitler. You do not want to miss that, members. Okay. Here's Social Security numbers. This might be its own video on Social Security and Social Security numbers, because I don't think I'm going to have time to do both of them today. Okay. This next one is on a country singer by the name of Carrie Underwood. She has an estimated net worth of $120 million. And Lucky, I feel the same way about you. I love you, Lucky. And by the way, I tried to send you an email a few weeks ago and it bounced back to me. I don't know why. I don't know why. If you can send me an email, dear, I wanted to send you an email, but I don't have your email for some reason. So please email me, okay? hello@solarflow.com, and then I'll send you the email that I tried to send to you, but it bounced back. Okay, love? So Carrie Underwood, didn't she win one of those douchey award shows? Right? Those singing show competitions. Didn't she win one of them? Let's see what her energy wanted to share with me. Carrie Underwood is so tired. So damn tired. Don't get her wrong. Motherhood is rewarding, but does it have to be so tiring? Forget trying to do it all and be it all. She's just trying to get through the day without leaking when she laughs. Ladies, you know. Maybe some of you men know too, but ladies will know. Losing her cool at her kids, and without a steady stream of caffeine to keep her up. Thank you, American Idol. And does Mike care? Now, this is her husband, Mike Fisher. He's like a former retired hockey player or something, right? So does Mike care? Sure. He pretends to care, pretends to understand her, but Mike really cannot see outside of himself. He's not a bad father, and in fact, he's a better father than he is husband, but they won't get divorced. They know the rules, and they'll play by them. Is she happy? Hardly. Everyone thinks how glamorous her life must be, and there's moments of it. But those moments don't include Mike or her kids. But when she's on the red carpet or on a stage, and outside of that, her life is just like everyone else's. Groceries, errands, kids, carpool, just life. Is it worth it? Sure. Better to have a life mixed in with a little bit of glamour than what her life would have been without it. No glamour. Probably living in a trailer park with a good-for-nothing drunkard with a beer belly. So now she still mostly has a good-for-nothing husband, but he's not drunk, and she has way more space and a lot more shoes. That is what Carrie Underwood's energy shared with me. Any questions, please do let me know down below. Yes, Lisa, you are more than welcome to email me as well. Now, I have 1, 2, 3 more topics, and then I gotta bounce, guys, okay? So this next one is, I was asked to look into somebody by the name of Abraham Hicks. Abraham Hicks is a motivational speaker. It's actually a woman, even though the name is Abraham, because Abraham is like the entity that she connected to on the other side in which she gets all of the information from. And she has an estimated net worth of $12 million. Let's see what Abraham's energy wanted to share with me. Abraham Hicks is plugged in and living her soul's purpose. When I look around her, I see the presence of very many divine beings, not just Abraham, but also her ancestors, spirit guides, and of course, Jerry, her beloved husband who crossed over before her. So essentially, Abraham, I have chills just talking about her now, by the way, guys. So essentially, Abraham Hicks has a direct line to the other side. And it was shown to me that the more she leans into these divine beings, the more she too lives in alignment. So essentially, she really practices what she preaches and feels confident in sharing what it is that she shares. And this is exactly what her soul came to do, and she is living exactly her purpose, and along the way, teaching us to trust the universe and to trust the universe a little more and line up with our own soul purposes as well. That is what I have for you on Abraham Hicks. Any questions, please do let me know. Now, these next two I really have to get through because they are so directly connected and correlated. So I'm going to zoom the fuck through them. My phone is also at 20% right now. Jamie said, thank you, Faye. Just to say, some of us, they are happy to see you. To some of us, you are a light that gets us through the week. Or to, oh God, you are so, I love you, Jamie. Thank you so much for saying that. Yes, and Abraham Hicks is great. Okay, now the next person I was asked to look into is somebody by the name of Helen Keller. Helen Keller was both, she was born blind as well as deaf. Let's see what her energy wanted to share with me. This will probably come as a surprise to nobody. Helen Keller was a starseed. Are we surprised? Because did her soul not help make advancements for blind people with Braille? Of course. So essentially, she too was living her purpose. This is not to say she had an easy life, because she didn't, which is absolutely why she had to volunteer to come into this life and to be blind and deaf. Because imagine otherwise, losing your space like I just did. No, imagine otherwise how cruel of a universe we would live in if a soul was just shoved into a body without any say-so of what they would experience in it. But just because she was a starseed living her purpose and she volunteered did not make it easy on her, because it wasn't. The first part of her life was very dark and lonely and confusing. She had a rich inner world, rich imagination, because after all, herself and her mind was her constant in a world she felt she did not fit into. However, once she could read, it completely opened up the world to her, and it was shown to me as if a broken bone had been set. As in put in place. But imagine having a broken bone without knowing that it was broken, just feeling out of alignment, and for the first time after the bone is set, feeling a sense of ease once it has been put back into place. Her entire life changed, and she essentially bloomed at that time. Her life as Helen Keller was a wild ride, not exactly one that she is running back to duplicate anytime soon. So she hasn't come back, and her soul is happily living out eternity, gardening, and sitting in a rocking chair and watching the world go by on her home planet. That is what I have for you on Helen Keller. Any questions, please do let me know down below. Now, first and foremost, I'm actually thinking, because I think you guys might want more. I'm thinking once Pip gets here, I'll go get him. You guys can talk amongst yourselves, and then I'll come back and I'll do the segments that I weren't able to get to. Let me know if that works for you, if you want me to stay on longer. But I'm going to have to unplug the mic. I almost said microwave. I'm going to have to unplug the microphone and charge my phone, or it will die. All right, we already got one yes. Jamie's like, hell yeah. Okay. Let me first and foremost, so my phone doesn't die and I don't know when my kid gets here, let me unplug this. Okay, Jamie's like, hold on, y'all. Ooh, I gotta go get the thing. Hold on, I got okay, you guys, I know, I love you guys. I gotta go get the piece that goes into the wall because it's not here, even though the charger is here. I will be right back. Please wait. Okay, I hope I didn't miss the notification that my kid is here. That would not be funny. Okay, hold on. Getting up close and yeah, plug in the microwave. Hold on. Microwave the phone and then plug it in. Okay. There we go. We have charge. We have chargeage. Chargeage. Okay. Okay. I know that Steve's like, that's a no-brainer. Of course stick around. Okay. I hope I'm gonna have time. I hope that was just obnoxious of the microphone to be there if I don't even need it now. All right. I hope I'm going to have time to get through this next segment before I have to go get Pep. Now, the reason I had to get through both of them is you're going to see why in a moment, okay? It's kind of like why I want to keep Social Security and social security numbers together, okay? You will see why. So I just spoke about Helen Keller, starseed, hard life, born deaf, born blind, hard life, starseed, not eager to come back and do it again. This next person whose energy I was asked to look into is, thank you so much, Jamie, I appreciate it, love. An American swimmer by the name of Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps has 28 Olympic medals and 23 of them are gold medals. He has an estimated net worth of $100 million. Let us explore what his energy wanted to share with me. Michael Phelps is otherworldly, and his soul chose to come here to show humans what is possible and what we are capable of. But he is not a fully activated starseed, because as I have shared with you guys, more starseeds come to Earth than are expected to wake up, because some of the starseeds don't wake up. And the reason a starseed has a hard life is that's the activation that is meant to wake them up. Helen Keller had a hard life. She was activated. Hello, Skelly Boy. So Michael Phelps is an unactivated starseed because his soul chose to come here to show humans what we are capable of. You are most welcome, Lucky Darling. However, he is not a fully activated starseed because he is still very enmeshed in the 3D and has allowed himself to be used by the Matrix in an attempt to prove he is not like the rest of us. I'm sorry, I keep missing my space. That's why I'm like starting and stopping like that. When he trains and competes, he eats an enormous amount of food because it is said he burns an enormous amount of calories, but in actuality, he need not eat as much as he does, and he would be able to perform just as well as he does when he is eating a lot. Because the human body does not, in fact, need as many calories to perform amazing feats. In fact, the less the 3D sustenance we consume, the more energetic codes we can take on, and that keeps our vessel lighter and will in turn align us with more light codes that we can then take on. Hello, Spiritualish. They have also studied his body and concluded he is not like everyone else, and that's why he is such a remarkable swimmer. But without actually testing everyone else's bodies the same way they have tested his, how could they actually and definitively know that? Well, they can't. And also, how many of us have had the opportunity to get into a pool and to swim like he has? So he has come to be a beacon of hope and inspiration to the rest of us. But again, he is an unactualized or unactivated starseed, at least at this point in his life. Future events may occur that will wake him up, but he will still maintain his free will and could resist it even at that time. Because as I tell you guys all the time, free will reigns supreme. We were just discussing Michael Phelps. Okay. That concludes that portion. However, you guys want me to stay on, and because of that, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do, once Pip is in my possession, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the segments that I have for you guys on Social Security numbers, and Kanika Jenkins. I think James Dean might get his own video because I have about 3 pages on him. So I don't know that I'm going to... Hello, Katrina, my darling. I don't know that I'm going to do him in this one, but I will definitely do Social Security and Social Security numbers as well. Now, I'm just kind of killing time until I see a notification that Pip is here, so I can go out and get him. And I also don't entirely know where those pages are. Yeah, I think they're a little bit later on. Hold on, I think I went too far back. But I gotta keep an eye on my phone to make sure that I can see when the notification comes in. So hold the fuck on, guys. Yeah, I think it's a little bit later on. I'm gonna have to go. Yes, Lisa, I'm gonna do Medicare and no, that's gonna be separately. I haven't looked into it yet, honey, okay? You guys feel free to, I don't know, like it's gonna be an intermission, like go do a bathroom break, go get something to eat or drink. I'm gonna have to leave in a few minutes to get my child, and then I'm gonna come right back. I'm very limited with the amount, Jamie, I love you. I'm very limited with the amount of entertainment I can do while I'm trying to like keep my eye on the phone and to keep an eye on my notes so I can get to the pages that I actually missed. Oh boy. It's real life over here. Have I said that lately? Have I said that today? It's real life over here. Thank you. You guys are the best. Thank you for waiting for me to get back. Oh gosh darn it, I can't even find what I'm looking for. All right, I think I gotta go get my kid. Let me go out. You guys, I might be gone for a couple of minutes, okay? So please discuss amongst yourselves. Oh, Jamie, you're too kind. I'll be back momentarily, guys, okay? There's more goods that the guys have brought, I promise you. Okay, again, I'm just gonna let you know I might be gone for a few minutes, guys, okay? So feel free to go do the bathroom or whatever the fuck you need to do, okay? I'll be back. that this morning, but you can still have this now. Can I wipe your feet? They look like they need to be wiped, Angel.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they really do. Sit down. I'll be back in a second, guys.
Love you guys.
Pip loves you.
And Mom loves you.
For sure, Mom loves them. Hold on, so what else did you do today?
What do you mean?
So you went to the ice skating rink.
Ask me questions.
Oh, I can't do that now.
Okay.
I should not do it later, okay?
After what?
After
How
the
long have
wedding.
you been streaming?
Not that long, since maybe 1:30.
What time is it?
It's like 3:30, so only 2 hours.
Okay.
But I got through a lot. But you are the most important robot in the world, so I come out to get you first, okay? Hold on, let me do the other foot. Down.
Do it.
Yay! Okay, sit down. I can't do this part. I'm gonna hurt your foot. Please sit down.
No, it's fine. I don't think you will.
Oh, well, I don't want to risk it because you're precious, okay?
You won't. Look, you're not hurting my foot.
I can't see the top of your foot though.
Yeah, like
Okay, so I can't clean it if I can't see it.
you can't clean it if you can't clean it. Here we go. Change angles, maybe.
Okay. Do you want your pizza? Alright, let me wash my hands.
I thought this said grilled matcha latte.
Oh my god, that would be
Crazy.
crazy. If that was a thing, that would be crazy.
Grilled matcha latte.
Hey, it's still warm, by the way. I don't know how that's possible, but it is.
What's the word?
There you go. It's a little bit curled up. It's got a personality of its own. Hi guys, I'm back.
Water.
I'm back and Pip is here. Hold on, I gotta
You
get.
haven't properly situated me.
It's true. I have not properly situated him. Let me give him water, and I will be right back. Okay? Do you want it in here?
No, no.
Oh, how about in here?
The water bottle. My water bottle.
I don't know where you. Hold
I
on.
put it right there. In the keys.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Aqua.
It's coming. It's a coming.
It's succumbing. It's succumbing?
It's a coming.
What is it succumbing to?
Ah.
Disease?
It's succumbing to dehydration because it was empty.
Oh no, I was dehydrated.
Okay.
Guys, my water bottle was dehydrated.
It shan't be dehydrated.
It was
No shelter.
dehydrated for like an hour.
Here you go, dog.
Like an hour, 30 minutes.
It's also kind of small. All right, guys. Hold on. Let me get my pen and let me come on back. Okay. I know how many of you are the real Solar Flow fam, because there's 15 of you that are still here and that stuck around. So congratulations to you all.
It's only been 2 hours.
It's only been 2 hours. Let me catch up on comments and then I'm going to go back to the segments I didn't have a chance to do. Okay, darlings?
What? Like what?
Hold on. Nicole said, how was my favorite girl day? I love you. Thank you so much. Yes, I did get Pip. Steve said, I am tuning forking my cats. Jamie said, I gotta pee. Steve said, if I could laugh every day as much as I have today, I would be the happiest, healthiest, face-hurting guy ever. I'm glad that I had just a tiny portion of making that happen for you today, Steve. Steve said, all day since I woke up has been filled with high-quality laughter. Damn, that sounds amazing. Jamie said, sing to me while I pee. Steve said, I only know Hallelujah or Tequila. Or the Macarena. Simply Smile said, hi, Pip. Everyone's saying hi to Pip. Pip returns. Steve said, I'm sorry, this is inappropriately hilarious. See what happens when you leave us alone? I mean, I did say talk amongst yourselves, and I was hoping that you would entertain yourself. So this is exactly what I was anticipating what would happen. Everyone is saying bonjour Piperino. Okay, we are inappropriate. You are inappropriate. Jamie said we are inappropriate, Faye. You can't leave us alone for fun. Actually, I can, because this is funny. It's funny what actually is happening here. Okay, let me now find those segments that I had to skip, guys, because I could not find them. So let me go back and see if I can actually find them. There's a couple of segments that I had to skip, and I will find them. I hope I will find them. I think it might have been too far forward, and that's why. Oh yeah, and there's why the club literally sacrificed it. Right, okay. So there's a lot of segments that we're actually going to go through, okay? Hold on, let me find. Here we go. All right. Let me consciously hydrate, and then we shall resume. And thank you all for your patience. Okay, so I'm going to do Social Security, and then I'm going to do Social Security numbers. You are most welcome, guys, because they are really, they're connected. So I want to keep them together. Let me, before I start Social Security, let me find Social Security numbers, so that way I don't have to sit here looking through pages upon pages of notes.
How is somebody's throat supposed to be stupid?
I mean, if you guys didn't realize how much I channel, I'm literally sitting here just flipping through pages of channeled information. And this is the video that's coming out on Friday. I already uploaded it. It's a good one. But I really wanted to go live with you guys today, which is why I did this today instead of posting that video to go live. Here's Kamika Jenkins. Hold on. Okay. Let me dog ear the page. Okay.
Oh my god, Karen was Karen the trilogy.
God damn it. So many pages of notes. This is actually crazy. This is legit kind of crazy. Oh my god. Here we go. All right. Are you guys ready? Okay. Oh, Jamie. Oh my, this one's going to be sad. I just know. I shall say nothing. You shall receive the information momentarily. Okay. So, in case anyone is not in the United States and you don't know what the Social Security program is, it is a United States government program that provides financial support to Americans after their retirement, and the money that is given to them is funded by taxes. It is said that a portion of a person's monthly paycheck actually goes to fund their social security payments after they retire. But there are also, I'm not well versed in a lot of the, not controversy, the criticism around it. But I know there are a lot of people that are very, very critical of Social Security and saying that we're basically feeding a program that's not going to have money for us when we're older. So it's kind of just another way of like siphoning money away from us. It directly correlates and connects to the energy reading. So here we go. Oh my God, that is hysterical. I love that. Lucky said, I'm sorry I'm back. My husband and I were fighting over who gets the end of the spinach and artichoke dip. Facts. Lucky, you're the lady. So, duh, obviously you should get last licks. Like, why is this even a question? For shame, Lucky's husband. Lucky said, I definitely have a waffle ball bat. I don't know what that is. All right, so here we go. Social Security behind the veil. Social Security was designed to both disempower us as well as create an environment where we would be more reliant on the government. Anyone surprised? So first of all, by taking a portion of our money for so-called later, it's in fact taking necessary funds and access to resources we may need now. So this is the disempowerment part. The promise of getting it later is also meant to keep us reliant on Big Brother in our later years. Never mind the fact that Social Security is not enough for an elderly person to even live on. So it's basically creating like a false sense of security, right? At its core, it's just another way to siphon our life force energy off of us and to reinforce the matrix. Now, at this time, thank you, what is your handle? Afan, thank you. Now, it's also being shown to me as having something to do with a breakdown of multi-generational homes. So multi-generational homes is like, imagine in one house you have the grandparents, the parents, and then the children and the grandchildren, and they all live together under one roof. So Social Security is in fact a breakdown of the multi-generational homes, as well as a further breakdown of the nuclear family, and breaking us up from living in small villages or communities where everyone knew one another and looked out for one another. Because by thinking the government would help provide for us in our later years, it lulls us into a false sense of security and leads us away from home and help from community and family. But it is not real. It's not enough, and it's just another way the government is meddling in our affairs without invitation and now without our consent. Because it's woven into the fabric of society and something we now have no say in. Now, that is Social Security. I'm now going to look into Social Security numbers. But before I do, there's another segment I missed. It's very, very short, but I'm going to add it here nonetheless. I was asked to look into a filmmaker by the name of George Lucas. He has an estimated net worth of $5.4 billion with a B dollars. Very short. George Lucas thanks us for our interest in him, but he declines to speak with me. Now, let's look into Social Security numbers. And again, if you're outside of the United States, hello, Nicholas. If you're outside of, and you can, by the way, Samai Norwood, you can, there's a way to do it. I'm reading from my notebook. This is channeled information. This is your guys' questions that I have previously channeled and looked into, which I am now reading to you, because there's no way I could remember all of this. That's what I'm reading. It's my notebook. It's my notes. So when are we gonna get, I'm not sure where you were going with that, Lisa. All right, now, similar is Social Security numbers. And again, if you're outside of the United States and you don't know what Social Security numbers are, at the time, they're not automatically assigned. When somebody is born, the parents, or the mother most likely, goes to the Social Security office and you present to a Social Security worker the birth certificate of your child, and then a Social Security number is issued to said child. We almost all have them. There are some people that actually have found ways, I don't know, there's other content creators that talk about this where you can actually return the Social Security back to the government. And there's ways of getting paid even without having a Social Security number. I don't know that you can have a credit card though. And I know you definitely cannot collect social services if you don't have a Social Security number. But it's interconnected. So let's see what was shown to me about, so now here's also the thing. I was asked about social security numbers because if you think about numerology and the numbers, like if you break down the numbers in your social security number, it ends up being like one number. So numerologically speaking, what's the significance of a social security number? That's not what came in, because I remind you, anytime I do energy reading, it's kind of like going to Target. Like sometimes I can go to Target and I get what I need and I leave and I don't get anything else, right? Sometimes I go to Target, I forget what I went for and I leave with something else altogether, right? And sometimes it's a combination. So I could go into a topic wanting to look into something and that's not what's shown to me. That's very much the case of what has happened here. The opaque, I'm very happy to see you. Okay, so social security numbers, this is what was shown to me about them. Social security numbers are used as a modern day tracking device. It's non-electric, so it's not like our cell phones, which also do in fact track us, and yes, electronically and physically. But social security numbers are designed to track us, but it's done differently. Social security number tracking is more akin to a social credit score. Because our social security numbers follow us through our life, from the very first school we are put into, whether it's public or private school, you need to have a social security number to be enrolled in school, to our universities, to our establishing a credit card, as well as your employment. Social security numbers are also linked to our bank accounts, our lease agreements, our mortgages, and they are connected to absolutely everything. And that's designed to build out some sort of a character profile of our worth. As in, how much are we worth to the country that we live in? What is our personal GDP? As in, what is our gross domestic product? So every country has a GDP, as in how much money is a country worth in terms of their exportation of goods, right? So it's a personal GDP, as in what is a person's gross domestic product worth? Do we have more debt than income? If so, that equals a low GDP, as in not as valuable. Do we have more income than debt? That would be a high GDP, as in more valuable. Do we have low actual GDP, but do we also have potential? And of course, our social security numbers are also linked to our parents. Do you see how that works? So they're tracking generational GDP. So all of this is done for data mining purposes, similarly to how our internet usage is also used for data mining and sold off to bidders. So the same thing is done here, but it is also done to analyze us, but not for advertising purposes the way our internet usage is used, but either to foreign agencies or governments or even your own government, because they are looking for patterns. As in, if somebody comes from a well-to-do family, they go to a private school, they go to a good university, and they have low debt, will they really be successful? Similarly, if somebody comes from a lower class family, they have high debt, they don't go to university, is that going to determine the overall long-term outcome and potential of their life? As in, it's a qualification system. Like the book and the movie Divergence. As in, they want to put us in neat little boxes because once we're in those boxes, they can find the outliers within us. Those that stand out against all odds. Because as I had shared in the video that I had done on Jeff Bezos, link down below, they have dumbed us down as best they could with the modern education system, and they cannot stop those starseeds from coming in and making a positive contribution. But they're trying to find the starseeds nonetheless, because once they do, they want to discover the starseed and they want to corrupt them. Because once they are corrupted, they are owned. And if they are owned by Team Darkseid, they can't make a positive contribution to Team High Vibe and humanity as a whole. So basically, exactly what they did to Ted Kaczynski, also known as the Unabomber, a video that I have also linked down below. And as an aside, social security numbers remind me of the numbers that are tattooed on Holocaust survivors, which were used for identification purposes, but it's done in a completely depersonalized manner. And even though our social security numbers are not physically tattooed on us, do they not follow us around from birth to death? And are they not directly connected to us? Yes. As in, because it is just a number, it is not a person with a name, but it's a number. It's an entity, like a product number or a serial number on your toaster oven or your cell phone. Because that's what we are like to the cabal. We are products until they can identify us, and then we are outliers. So that is what I have for you on social security numbers. Any questions, please do let me know down below. Now, I am definitely going to catch up on the comments, and then I'm going to continue to do some more segments for you guys. But I saw a lot of comments were coming in. So let me catch up on your comments. Jamie, my husband paid into Social Security for years. About 15 years ago, someone tried to take him out. He lived. He's on SS disability. They don't pay shit. He's been working part-time. Yep. Lisa Sims, you are restricted unless you have one according to our government. Correct. Very intentionally, by the way. Jamie, he's half paralyzed and half blind. He still has to work. Like, make it make sense, right? That's crazy. That's ludicrous. Katrina said this makes me remember a Black Mirror episode. A lot of truth in those episodes. Steve, you can actually look that value up in the US. You can see how much you have been sold for as a dead. And yes, exactly, Steve. There is your answer why the numbers are close, Lucky. Lucky said you're right. Katrina said, I'm sorry, Jamie. Steve said, because each person employed by the corporation of the USA has a value being bought and sold on a market that uses people as earning tools and energy sources that never actually leave debt because they are never alive. Isn't that crazy? By the way, if you've ever been involved in a lawsuit, so I have a friend who looked into this, so I'm really just going off of my recollection. Your name in a lawsuit is in all caps because it's not actually you. It's the entity known that goes under your name, because they don't actually see us as people. We're entities to them, right? Which is why if you're also ever arrested and the police read you your Miranda rights, and again, this is according to, this is all anecdotal, but according to my friend who did extensive research in this, if you're ever arrested and you're read your Miranda rights, you're not supposed to say, I understand. You're supposed to say, I comprehend what you're saying. Because if you say, I understand, what are you literally saying? I stand under you. As in, I have less value and less meaning and less important to you. You as the officer that is arresting me as an entity and not as a person. So if ever you're arrested, you say, I comprehend. Again, allegedly, according to my friend who has done copious amounts of research, we are all basically straw men in the eyes of the law. We're not people. Katrina, even if you look at the creation of project community, keyword project, most never leave. That's kind of crazy. Lisa, yeah, my sister and I are three years apart and have almost identical numbers except for the last 4 numbers. That's kind of crazy. Steve, you have to claim sovereignty by acting outside of the fake person. Correct. They created at your birth, but with the permission of your parents and your lifelong compliance and signature. You said it correctly. Lucky, I have 2 children, 2 different biological fathers, and their numbers are nowhere near each other. Jamie, and born in the U.S., I assume that's impossible, Steve. You are most welcome. Millie, right? M is Millie. Okay. No, in the U.S., it's most possible. Lucky, that was amazing. Samaya, I watched all of the Divergent movies and resonated with the Divergent characters. I can't help you, I'm sorry. Not you, Samaya. Lisa Sims, well, what is going to happen in the future since this... So all systems have to come down because they're all built on corruption. They're all going to have to come down so they can be rebuilt without corruption. But as I have shared with you guys, we have been in servitude and, energetically, financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, but it's kind of hard to repay people for like emotional servitude, right? You can definitely be repaid for your financial servitude, and as I've shared with you guys, it's coming, but not yet. Which is why it's going to get gnarly first, because all the old systems have to come down first. Which is also why a lot of people are going to tap out, because it's going to get gnarly. So a lot of souls came here with the expectation till here but no further. They'll just come back in another lifetime. They don't want to go through the gnarly bit. So even though it's going to be jarring and it might feel sad to see people leaving, it's their soul's choice. They don't want to be around for what's coming because gnarly is coming. Steve, that's the entity owned by the corporation, which is why they have authority over you if you give it to them. Correct. This is where I am right now. If you even responded to them, that is an invitation to go to court, but never say understand. Exactly. Never say understand. That means in black stand under or submit to. I just said that, right? And I'm only reading the comment now. Lucky, smart with the Miranda rights makes such sense. Millie, my sister-in-law and I did a number on her mental health. Everything about the law is so sterile and people. It really is. Jamie, oh wow, I've learned so much from this. Hello, Father Charles. I see so many people wishing they were wealthy, but do they understand it doesn't bring peace? Can't answer for everybody. Jamie, what do you mean it's coming? The energetic rebalancing is coming, and with it, we're going to be it's not just going. Why was it so buzzy a few years ago? Like there were all of these people saying they wanted to get what's it called? The words on the tip of my tongue. Like you saw like a lot of governments saying that they wanted to give money to black people. There's an exact word for it that I don't remember, but essentially as like compensation for the fact that they had been enslaved, right? They're just the most notable and recent example. We've actually all been in servitude. So the recompensation for our servitude is coming for all of us. Right? Like I had done a segment, go back, I don't even know how long ago, where I looked into the digital currency. That's, Lisa, the one that I think you were asking about, the digital currency. That through the digital currency, we're actually going to be recompensated for the servitude that we have been living in. If anybody wants to, email me, hello@solarflow.com. I will send you the link to the segment I had done on digital currency because everything is in there, but it connects to this as well. The Opaque. Darling madam, could you grace us with a tour of your legendary library? Lead us to that I love it, paperback paradise. We're ready to worship at the altar of annotations. I have a paltry 3D library because most of my, I have a Kindle and I get now most of my books on Kindle Unlimited, and then I delete it once I read it because like a book has to be truly exceptional for me to want to have a physical copy of it. So I have a few truly exceptional physical copies, and then the rest are, they do not exist in the 3D material world. So it would be a very, very short tour that I could give you. Jamie, I'm confused, face, sorry. About what, darling? Lisa, so if we are still here, oh, the comments are going, oh no, if we're still here, will we still have identification numbers? It might be different. Dathy, are you a lesser than what? Thank you, Katrina. Reparations. That was the word I was looking for that I couldn't remember. Lisa, it's coming over the next 5 to 10. Yes, reparations. So it's been shown to me like 2032. We're going to be in a totally different world. And my guides couldn't even, they're like, it's not even something that we can show to you because you don't have any reference point of what it is. So anything we show to you is not even going to make sense. So my guides can't even tell me what it's going to look like in 2032 because they're basically saying I'm not even going to understand it. Because it's something we've never had on Earth before. It's something I've never seen before. It's not something that's ever been alluded to in a book or even in a movie. There is no reference for what the world will look like in 2032, which is why my guides can't show it to me. Jamie, okay, thanks, Faye. I misunderstood. You do not have to apologize. Thank you for deleting the messages, mods. Samaya, is it actually going to happen? Me and my friend talk about the possibility of my community receiving reparations. I say yes. But it's going to be everyone that's going to get reparations. It's not just going to be one subset of the population. It's going to be the entire population as a whole. I don't know what Randy said, Steve. But Randy was timed out by Steve. That's amazing. Lisa, yes, I definitely want the link to it, so I will do that. I just gotta remember digital currency. Okay, now I know what that was. Family, Father Charles, you're saying souls not coming back, but they do come. Oh, comments are jumping. Hold, I'm so sorry. You're saying souls not coming back, but they do come back because they don't remember the struggle. No, it means that souls are going to tap out because they don't want to be here for what's coming next. They will incarnate in the future, but they're going to tap out before it gets truly gnarly. Which is actually what, if you think about it, the last few years have been. It's really given the souls that don't want to be here a chance to tap out under the guise of it being, you know, like some sickness, illness, and disease. Steve said it's not, I don't know what that means. Lisa Sims, well, that's only 7 years from now. That will go fast. It will, but it will also get gnarly. Okay, so that's what I have for you on Social Security and Social Security numbers. Let's now find the segment I was going to do on Kanika Jenkins, I think her name is. And then I'll see if there's anything else that I also skipped. Oh, yes, I did. There's why the club sacrifices. Okay, but I gotta find Kanika. Hold on, guys. Let me find Kanika. Talk amongst yourselves while I find Kanika, please. Pip, how you doing, love? How you doing? Good. Okay, darling. Did you eat, Angel? I'm good. Not an answer, but okay. Hold on. So much pages to skip through. My God, it's never ending. Hold on. Where's Kanika? Kanika, where are you, though? I need like a. Here it is. I dog-eared the page. I need like a. What's it called in the back of the book? Like a history or a facts book when you're looking for something specific. In the back of the book, they have like page numbers. I have to start like page numbering my notebooks and putting like whatever that thing is called in the back so I can easily find topics. Let me catch up on comments and then I will read Kanika. Lisa said, like, what about the Texas flood, Sunny? Yes, like the Texas flood. I'm sorry. You guys are too smart for me today. Father Charles, whoever the young generation is in 2032 will blend into it because they won't know any different. Yes, exactly. Katrina, oh, the girl that was found in the elevator. Yes, in the freezer, Katrina. Father Charles, can you define a soul tapping out? I don't want to draw that conclusion on my own. It's any soul that basically crosses over. Or the body dies and the soul goes on to the other side. That's what I reference as tapping out. They're tapping out of having living on the 3D earth plane, and their soul is going onto the other side. Yes, an index. Thank you, Simply Smile. Santino Haskins, you go girl. Keep up the great work. You are awesome. Thank you for acknowledging your followers and the great content. Thank you for saying so. That means a lot. And this is a community first and foremost. Like I'm just at the helm of it, but this is a community. So I never understood why content creators never bothered like responding to comments that were left on the page. Like, I'm sorry, like, are you just too busy to actually interact with the people that are watching your content? I never understood that. It never made sense to me. So this is a community. You guys are my vibe tribe. So what? I'm going to be like, not today, vibe tribe? No, not here. That doesn't happen here. Yes, correct, Lisa. That means all the disasters that could potentially happen. Yeah, the index. Jamie, Texas floods. I cried today for the young girls. I just cried for them. It's very sad for us to see it, but also remember the soul chose for that to happen before they were born. It is sad. It is. Katrina, I think there probably is, but I think Steve is taking care of them because he's talking to someone and I haven't seen those comments. Lisa, you look into what happened. I didn't look into the Texas floods, not yet. Jamie, I just stood in my living room and cried, Katrina. I couldn't imagine the way they felt. Jesus, I'm crying again, my heart. It is very sad. Remember their soul. We're all the cosmic creator of the life experiences, and when we're going to tap out, their souls chose to tap out, right? Yes, and thank you, Steve. Okay, are we ready for the segment on Kanika Jenkins? So essentially, this is a young girl. She went to a party. She ended up missing, and they discovered her the next day in the freezer at the hotel. Let's see what her energy had wanted to share with me. Kanika Jenkins went to a party, and the next thing she knew, she was out of her body. Everything in between is a haze of almost just out of reach, half fragments of memories that don't entirely feel like they're hers. What she doesn't know is that the drinks that were given out at the party that she had gone to in the hotel had been spiked. Not too badly, just a little hint of this and that. But she was a lightweight, and the alcohol, with a little this and a little that, deeply affected her. And she, in a fugue state, went out, stumbled around the hotel. So imagine a time in your life you've been really drunk. And then I wrote, assuming everyone watching here has at one point or another really been drunk. So we know what that feels like. So, you know, sometimes in the past, if you've ever been really drunk, the floor seems to move around you. Now imagine being that drunk and the floor seems to be moving, but on top of it, you're tired. And on top of that, you're not able to see well because it's like you have Vaseline that's smeared over your eyes. Because that's what it was like for Kanika Jenkins. Sadly, whatever that little bit of this and that was in the alcohol, it also prevented her from sobering up. And she stumbled around the hotel. Again, I remind you, very drunk. The floor felt like it was moving under her, and it was like she had Vaseline gobbed over her eyes. And she was tired and drunk. So she couldn't see where she was going. She didn't feel entirely in her body. She kind of stumbled around until she stumbled into the hotel's walk-in freezer. She slipped on the slick floor. She hit her head and it was lights out. She was knocked out and her body was not found until the following day. So yeah, literally, it's like she went to a party and then the next thing she knew, she was out of her body. She was very understandably confused when the next thing she knew, she was out of her body. Stunned, really. She stayed next to her body, and even at this early point, the other side didn't feel real. Nothing did, actually. She couldn't believe how long it took for someone to find her body. But also keep in mind, there is no time on the other side, so she actually didn't know how long it actually was. But to her, it felt long. Then finally, somebody was there, and then many someones were there. Then there was her mother and her mother's grief, and she wanted to wrap her arms around her mother and comfort her, but she no longer had a body, and she couldn't. Everything was all wrong, and also so strange to her. She stayed on the airplane until after her funeral, and that was fucking weird. Seeing herself, but it was no longer herself because she was out of her body, so she was essentially seeing herself, no longer herself, in a casket. She wanted to stay longer to just be with her mother and her family, but their grief was too much for her. She had her own grief to deal with and could not take on their grief as well. So when her guardian angels gave her the opportunity to cross over, she took it and she has not looked back. So if you were wondering if there was any foul play that was involved, it wasn't shown to me as there being any foul play. So that is what I have for you on Kanika Jenkins. Any questions, please do let me know down below. Let me catch up on comments and then I will do the last segment. Lisa Sims, I would like you to do an energy reading on Amy Lynn Bradley when you got the time. I am really wanting to know what happened with her mysterious disappearance back in 1998. You're going to have to email me her name, sweetheart, okay? Jamie, been drunk plenty of times and so grateful I had, right? Yes. Lisa Sims, so it was an unfortunate accident, so sad. It was exactly that. Father Charles, the out-of-body experience, I've had that just randomly for no apparent reason. That is trippy. Yeah, it is so sad. I don't know if anything happened to her organs. Katrina, are you hearing all of the interference? I mean, I can't. I don't hear anything. Stay Meow, do you like K-pop? Do you like K-pop group named Stray Kids? I haven't listened to, I haven't turned on the radio in years. I don't know. I haven't heard any of their music, so I can't comment. Steve, I gotta make this store before 8. Love you guys so much. Thanks for the fun show. You are most welcome. Now, guys, this can be its own video. I have 3 pages on why the club literally sacrifices lives or why they have boys parading around us girls. Do you want this to be its own video or do you want me to do it right now and wrap up with this segment? You guys get to decide. I live in service to my community first and foremost. So if you guys want me to do it, I will stick around and I will do it. Otherwise, we will bounce and it will get its own video along with James Dean. Because I definitely have enough for James Dean to get his own video. And I think James Dean is interesting and would make a very interesting video. Jamie is saying its own video, more info, its own video. Okay, you guys have spoken. So, do you want a sneak peek of the content I have coming out in the future that I have not? Lisa Sims is like, no, I want it right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
I will give you guys a little sneak peek though, okay? I have American Prisons, Sandra Bullock and Jesse James, that's coming out on Friday. Do Governments Employ Psychics? Bernie Madoff. Members video on Holocaust and Hitler. Why the club literally sacrifices lives. And James Dean. So goodies, guys. I got goodies coming out for you guys in the future. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed today's live stream AMA. I'm going to be doing timestamps as soon as I can get to them, hopefully within the next couple of hours so the replay crew can enjoy this. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Father Charles said, I've been a truth seeker since a child. It seems it's come with a price. I think it would have been easier to just have been That's why people stay asleep, because it's hard to wake up. It's hard to see the world as it actually is and not through the matrix. I mean, waking up is fucking gnarly. Like, I was apathetic for months after I woke up. Like, I didn't care about anything because it's not easy to wake up. But I'm excited that you did. And I'm glad that you're here, Father Charles. Jamie, yes, all of them, Faye. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Faye. Have a great... Love to you all. I love you all so much. Lisa Sims, I'm glad you went live today instead of tomorrow. Thanks, Faye. I have to go back and watch. So again, I'm going to work on those timestamps. I'm going to get them done ASAP. Okay, guys? I love you all. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next live, which will definitely be next week. Because I love you all and I love going live with you. I will be live again next week. So have a wonderful rest of your evening, and remember, stay in the high vibe, guys. Pip, do you want to say goodbye?
What?
Do you want to say goodbye?
Oh, it's over?
I'm getting off. Do you want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Love you all. Pip says bye, and stay in the high vibration.